History is written by the victor. History is filled with liars. If he lives and we die, his truth becomes written.
You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We count them digits and subtract it. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We caught that nigga, send him packing. Yeah, we sending niggas packing. Don't give a fuck about the past. He hit the pavement, now he napping. You need some shit, just tap, tap, tap it. Just know your role and play your part. You're all talk and you're all bar. We see the loser in your heart, so please stop acting like you're smart. We left that loser in a ditch. That's what you get for talking shit. These niggas talking tough for Twitter, but I know you're full of it. Talking about slime, talking about gang. Nigga, you do not have no click. Nigga trying to say I make a mad, but boy, you really make me sick. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We count them digits and subtract it. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We caught that nigga, send him packing.
What's up? What's up?
I'm good, bro. I am good.
Okay, so you only cover.
History is written by the victor.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
History is filled with
I
liars.
would have to do
If
too
he
much to
lives
do anything
and we
else.
die,
Right,
his
so
truth
Two
becomes
today
written.
and do two
You
tomorrow.
told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. You told a Glock, that bitch your face. You don't want smoke, get out my face. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Can't walk this darkness in my place. I got cold white inside my veins. You niggas ain't rapping, such a disgrace. That boy stay capping, need a cage. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We count them digits and subtract it. Don't fuck with lanes, don't fuck with facts. Don't care about bitches and distraction. My bank account, another transaction. We caught that nigga, send him packing. Yeah, we sending niggas packing. Don't give a fuck about the past. He hit the pavement, now he napping. You need some shit, just tap, tap, tap it. Just know your role and play your part. You're all talk and you're all bar. We see the loser in your heart, so please stop acting like you're smart. We left that loser in a ditch. That's what you get for talking shit.
What's up, guys? The chapter before it starts with the recap of the speech. Then it goes into like Yama and that guy, the big breeder guy that they met, and then it's pretty much, I think it was Hajin Sung getting called, or I think this band comes back, and then after we go into everything. But anyways, I got it though. Just follow my lead if you need to.
No, that's what I was gonna do because I was just like, because I was making sure I didn't slip up and say nothing that was 55 and 56.
It might happen. It might happen once or twice. If it does, I think we could really do about it, unless I just pay attention to the time in which it happened. So, well, how y'all doing, chat? How y'all doing? I am actually caught up. I have technically seen everything. It's gonna be a lot to do this all at once. So we're gonna focus with these two for now, and then my plan is tomorrow morning, because tomorrow I'm not doing any work really, because tomorrow I'll be 30, so tomorrow's my birthday. I'm not gonna be around like that. So before I like head out for the day and stuff, I'll talk about the next two. So just know the cutoff. The cutoff safely is Yuri being reintroduced. Please. try not to talk about anything but beyond that because then you give me more work to do in editing when I have to splice it together. So what's up, Miles?
Hello.
Hmm. But okay, he said Naya is SIU cooking. Yeah, he is. He's doing well. So just to 554. Let me go check where the last. What's up, Malik? Yo, I got hard. Yay, you doing good? You're Kaiki. I call Kalki. I said Kaiki for a second. I said, oh, Kaiki Deshu, my guy. Could be better, but I'll be alright. Oh man, I understand those ones. But all right, sad to YouTube because this will be on YouTube later, and we got. I think this chapter has a decent amount of things. 553, I guess, is like the totality of it. I think it's like season 3, one. I want to say 166, 136, 137, something like that. But it was pretty good. I liked it. We are reintroduced to Bam in this chapter, so we only went 2 without him. But all things considered, I've actually been enjoying him. In these chapters, I thought he was fine. I didn't. I kind of liked his energy at the end. Like I'm gonna come back up to the top, but when Ren pulls up on him, first of all, Ren didn't. Like in hindsight, Ren was speaking with speech bubbles. He wasn't thinking in his head. So, like you're talking out loud, talking about I'll lick him, I'll eat him, I'll roll him around, and Bam's like, bro.
Yeah.
Not only did you enter my room, loud as hell. You are not hiding your murderous intent. I sense your since you like you. So like you really want this smoke? I said, hey yo, that's how he's feeling. Bedhead in his pajamas. He wakes up and he's like, bro, do you want me to beat the snot out of you? I said, oh wait, I like this. That's gas. What do you guys think of the chapter?
Well, if for Bam, I actually was solid because I'm gonna join it because like, good, ain't no more goddamn. Is he strong enough? How can he do this? It's like
Yes.
how against some random shit. It's just like, yeah, nigga, I know what I can do now. It's like he's not trying to pull the whole. Oh my god, but he was really an irregular. It's just like, all right, we know he's strong. There's no time to like fool around. Like, there's no time to like try to pull the wool. So I liked it.
I
Yeah, I
even
like the
like that
energy.
Ren sensed danger. Like you always say it's weird sometimes they can't seem to sense the general kind of power levels of their constituents around them, and it's extra weird if you're like a ranker, advanced ranker, high ranker, perhaps. He was like, wait a minute, why does he seem so effortlessly strong? Like I'm like, look at him, his senses work properly. Like I need more of that. Like before you engage in the battle, have some type of general idea of their level of strength and combat power. I like that. So that was good. Ren thinking he's that guy. He is the tower's best bully. Okay, he's the greatest bully in the tower. Let him rock. Actually, no, that tongue thing be weird. I don't like the tongue. He was mad, confident. I was feeling it. The 25th Kirby pleasantly surprised me. Also, he doesn't care. He doesn't. He doesn't care. Doesn't care. He really didn't question it too much. He said, "Bet." Exactly. That's what I was saying. What do you think, Miles? Though, what did you think? Actually, East, were you done? My bad.
Oh yeah, I've been finished. I know that.
What do you think, Miles?
Uh, yeah, I'm a look to be a Ren fanboy. So I was happy. I didn't think he would pull up this fast, to be honest. But then this also, I'm happy to see this. But this is the thing that I've talked about like plenty of times. I'm like, this is like, why haven't Red sent assassination attempts way earlier on? Because I would have a hard time believing it's like a thing of finding Bam. But I am glad that he is out here now, where he's just like, all right, I'm about to. He's here. He's talking about my family going crazy, defaming my name. He's like, I gotta pull up and kill him. But it's just like, Bam's kind of a monster now. But Ren is like one of the funniest people. Like
Yeah.
he just be saying wild stuff. It's just like,
He
dude, you gotta
doesn't. He doesn't.
relax.
He doesn't even seem to monologue internally. All of his thoughts are spoken out loud. Like he just says it out loud, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
He
And
said half of it
yeah,
out loud. The nigga
yeah.
Bam was like, nigga, what? Huh?
Like you came in here noisy and flexing your murderous intent. Like you're not serious. Like you're not serious. Like I like when Bam opened his eyes, I said, "Oh," I said, "Oh, it's time." So that's to me
and
that's an exciting battle. I want to see how that's the shades of that. That's exciting. So that's pretty
yeah,
cool. So
and his shoe game is
oh,
nice.
Ren's kicks are clean.
Clean. clean.
Clean, pristine. I said, bro, whose kicks are those? I said, oh man, all right, nah, those
That,
are those.
that nigga got the really got the
The,
red Octobers on, the reds and hards on. That nigga was really, and that's why you kept highlighting them hoes too. I was like, why is this the standout part every
bro,
panel he did?
Because he designed some fire ass kicks. He said, let me show the people these kicks, bro. They know it's gas, and and
and
and, and
it's
he was right. It's gas.
and it's funny because the brand isn't Nike, but I think it's literally just nice. The brand is just nice.
Oh, okay, so like a Nike adjacent
What?
power god,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
but to have a brand of kicks just called nice, I'm like, okay, you really feeling these designs, and they are clean. I'm
Hey,
not
bro,
gonna hold you.
that boy ran finna click his heel 3 times. Boy, that nigga finna fly home. The hog gonna pull up.
He got his little Ram furry suit and kicks. And I'm not mad at it.
Oh man, I like that. I like that part. So I'll just kind of so like again, so the chapter opens up with the speech Augustine was giving, and Bell. I don't care about his name. I'm sorry. I don't even want to get his name right. He's literally the equivalent of the. Remember the guy on from the last station who I never cared to get his name right in the wheelchair, who like ran it with like So Young and the other guy. I don't
Oh
like
yeah,
some people are just I don't I respect them so little. I don't want to know your name, so I don't even care that I'm not saying it right. So we did
but
see brief.
didn't you
What?
cry that?
Hmm?
Didn't you cry at the last station? I swear you was like tearful when the wheelchair nigga and his family.
Yeah, it moved me so much. They're just so important and vital to the story. I just the way that their impact is still felt today. Like so, on the transport ship, you see everybody there. Remind me, if I remember correctly, Karaka is with Yama and them, right? Or are they somewhere else?
No,
So okay,
No, yeah,
so they're in so the transport ship is where Yama and Doom is at. Because what confused me a little bit, because I'm thinking they're all together, but some of them are in the world of darkness because they're not canine people. They're not houndborns. Because wasn't Karaka there? Wasn't
that may be
Yasracha
the
with them?
case.
Because he's like, Yasracha, you can't die,
Okay,
no. Ah."
that
So
might that might
so
be more accurate.
so they're hiding in
Yeah,
his heart right now because that's how the little ball there, so that they won't get caught. But Yama and Doom could blend in because they're beastkins. That's that.
that makes
That was
yeah.
my assessment. I'm not sure if I was right though.
That might actually be right because they do have Yasracha, and Yasracha definitely was with Yama. So yeah, you actually might be right on that. Yeah,
yeah, and then plus Yasarachi got to hide because they would know who he is
True.
because
Like
there's
you're
no
supposed to be a part. You're supposed to be a commander in the army. Yeah,
yeah
and you're a
yeah
local
yeah
Bia.
yeah. So he would be known walking around amongst them, and they probably sense him
Is he still
too.
dying? He looked like he was chilling.
Yeah, he looked like he was chilling.
He looked like he was dying to me. Moron and
not at
Karaka's
all.
heart, hell no. Also, mid one, Moron's with them. I just realized Bam woke up and immediately chose violence. Yeah, go. My boy Lopabia lost in a plot. Soon Bam won't be saying Mr. Trom. Yeah. Bam. There's a part here in this chapter where I think Lilial's like, "Are you confident?" He's like, "I don't know. I'll do all right." And his head's like, "Bro, I'm not. I'm nice." He was like, "Oh shoot, he knows." Karaka is in the ship behind the big carrier in the world of darkness ball. Yeah, okay, so I was like, so my assessment was correct. That wasn't I literally couldn't remember if they were all together because I know some of them like Mew Love and like Sophia and some of them they're by the tree where Arlene, whatever the case was with that. So I was just trying to remember exactly who was who was where.
I
And
have a
it's
quick question.
go ahead.
This is just like a really off like random question. Out of all the rankers that we know, like just pure rankers, no advanced or high, who do you think is the strongest?
Mm,
Nah.
well, I'd probably from a storytelling standpoint right now go with Ren. Because is it Ren's just a ranker, isn't he? But he's part of R
Yeah,
and D.
he's
He's
just a
supposed to be
ranker.
a special division of force in Jihad's empire, right? So with
Hmm.
him, but honestly, based off what I'd seen, I'd probably go with Mio Love. See, I've actually seen him do something significant.
Okay.
Now you could now
I
I might just be fanboying. And then in the back of my head, I still think Lororo was probably dangerous. He
that's
took the
who I
test.
was thinking
He,
of.
he he's a Dion Sula, and he's not a natural one because he's not from the Kun family. So he comes to mind. It's probably amongst those two. There's probably like a couple that I'm not thinking. Like those delete guys or whatever from the Wall of Peaceful Coexistence, they didn't move me, so I'm not really gonna put them up there with them. I can't remember if they were
Yeah,
all rankers or high rankers, but they were like
that's like my three as well. But like Laurel to me
not Quant.
struck
I'm
me as
sorry. I
a
like Quant, but he's
genius.
dumb. He's dumb.
It would have been Karaka if Karaka stayed a ranker, but yeah.
Yeah,
Now if it was Mule level floor 20, that's a different beast. That's
yeah.
he top one.
Yep.
I'll sign up
They
for
said
him
Bam
now.
has the strongest ranking, obviously. Bam confident. I'm here for it. No more crying. Yeah, I hope that's a hard question since plain rankers are all bozos. You got a rank already, remember? Yeah, I was gonna say Lororo CPL out right now. It really is in full effect. Full effect. Okay, so we meet Field Marshal, great trainer Lopopia Lobadan. His design's interesting. It looks like he's got like some dragon scale kind of armor on. His hair is kind of like green fire at the bottom, and he's got like a big ass stick on his back.
Hmm.
A tree trunk, a stick, a big branch, a blunt. What is that? Like, what's on his back? That's
I
his weapon.
completely
That's kind of
messed.
cool.
I don't know why I do this. Sometimes I just mix up the Poe Vidal and Lopabia's name when I'm going through it, like on first read. So
Mm,
like the first time, I literally thought he was like Poe Vidal's, like from the Poe Vidal family, and
mm.
I was like, "What is this text even saying?" I'm so confused. Then when I reread it, I'm like, "Oh, I'm just dumb."
I just remember Quan has a March line. I thought it was the Case Frog. That Mavs are in the top 10. I'm crying. Yeah. I'm not gonna get my hopes up because I thought that other guy was gonna be raw and he wasn't. So I'm just gonna
Wait,
the one that
oh,
Yama packed up. I thought he might have been kind of like I thought he was like decently like gonna be decent. I know he's an advanced ranker, but I'm like, oh, he was able to I think discern that Karaka was like using his scouting ability or something. Like he seemed like but he got packed. I'm like, okay, it could just be that Yama's
do,
that dude, you know. So maybe
do you
that's all it really is. But yeah,
do you think so with the title field marshal, that's a specific thing. I guess we're gonna get maybe more about like the actual army structure of the Lopabia family, and he's one of like the great trainers.
hmm
I think his title was great trainer. I forget what Kieran's title was. I think was it just head beast kin train. But do you think it's him and Kieran are the two like were the two basically people that could take over the Lopabia family when
no,
Amaray are gone?
no. I think
Okay.
Kieran's one of them. I don't think this guy's one of them. I could be wrong. There's things that I know that I think could like elevate his kind of general importance and maybe seniority, but I don't. I'm not doing the thing where I'm gonna let it play out. Is basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do the thing where I overhype somebody when I see them. I like his design; it's pretty cool. He seems to be a leader, a leading figure. Even the kid asked him a question, like, as my great grandpa, like I would just like to know, like, yo, I can't give you those orders and whatnot. So you know what I'm saying. So,
Yeah, I ain't
whoo,
falling for it.
it's yeah, so that part's cool. I don't like anything he had to say wasn't particularly too in depth. But I do like that he assumes that Yama and Doom are hiding on the ship. Like characters of this level of this status of this like, should be this competent. They should be able to think like that. Like no, they didn't flee. Like he said they fled. And that's probably like a young person like no, with my experience, they'd probably try to blend in. And I'm like, "All right, that's good." Then the kid asks a question and he kind of tells them to just kind of like it's a military secret, just follow orders and don't worry about it. And he's talking about the war being very, very gruesome because we're gonna have to actually go with a family head that we have no chance of defeating, and this war will only end essentially when we take out the king. But he did say we will aim for the Lord's heart. What does that mean? What do you think that means?
Uh Either
He
his
said,
base or some secret like stash of books that like he prizes like very, very heavily.
hmm, how many of the 18 local beauty clan heads have you seen? I have no idea. I have no idea off the top of my head. Did Sung
5?
really making plays the last few chapters? We'll talk about that we'll talk about that. 29 peeps we eating right now in terms of viewership and content. I never expected to be so happy with a BAM focused chapter soon. Props to Slave and Utero. Yes, yeah. Shout out to the chat. 30 of you in here. I appreciate it. Look, look, we all back. We all starving for some TOG. I gotta say this. I don't think I said this at the beginning, and I meant to. I think I missed Tower of God more than I realized. I think I did. I think I missed it. I don't think I realized how much I did. I missed it. We're at a point in the story where Bam is always the strongest person in the room unless the family had themselves there. Fair. Yeah, watching these top five Lopobia bozos get cooked, I can't be too sure about anyone. Exactly. Exactly. Do you think he's gonna go after N? We'll see. Anything new of the flower lady? Flower lady. Anything new of the flower lady? Who's flower lady? That is that Boat Moron or something precious?
Yeah,
What?
I think it's about Doan.
Okay. More, yeah, I don't know about more on there, but yeah, sorry.
Uh,
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. So, what do you think that is targeting his heart? 'Cause like in my head, I think it's like low key still like and or slash Horatia, like he might have feelings for her, but they can't they can't target her, so it's not her. So it's got to be like you
yeah.
said, maybe a book, a stash of books, or maybe a very maybe there's a son or a daughter that he cares about very deeply, and they're in a vulnerable area right now. Because I feel like they're gonna retaliate in a way to take out someone important or established in Augustang's family the same way that he kind of already packed up, three of theirs, just to kind of even things out. If that makes sense. That's I could be wrong though, but that's I think we're going.
I I don't know why. I really do think after the end stuff, I actually kind of have a hard time like seeing Gusting have like deep love for his kids. And that's not to say like he only sees them as like chess pieces, but like I feel like that like real like familial connection is like hard for him to like bond with his kids.
Repeat that. Sorry.
Like I think like after and I would have a hard time like seeing him care like deeply for like his kids.
Oh, so you think okay, that's fair. It could be someone else. I didn't think Tower God was on the downfall in season 3 until the war turned into a cat game. So much stakes suddenly removed. Nah, I hear you. Yes, yes, I hear you. Oh man. Okay.
In
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think the Low Baden, is that his
Yeah.
name? The field
Lobdon,
marshal.
whatever.
Yeah, we got to do better with like some of the name spreading and stop using like all these L's and stuff.
I also don't.
Low Padilla, low.
I also find out that a lot of their names end with with like four letters, but they're like two letters are the same, like DD. To Kadidi or Kadede, you know. I feel like
Yeah,
there was like a couple of those that I found that were like that. But anyways,
one part of this convo we'll have to get back to because I think it's important. But what I'm just gonna say is, do we trust this guy? Do we trust this field commander that he's not gonna betray? Like he actually has plans to like hurt Gustang and he's not betraying
oh,
Conrad.
so like because he was questioned about that. That's a good point. I don't think if he harbors any feelings of like wanted to betray or do a mutiny, I don't think he has the opportunity because two family heads will be involved. I don't think he has the balls unless he doesn't care about dying. So that's my best guess. Like he'll fall in line because of the insurmountable power that he's facing. If it's like a different type of war, I think maybe if he was harboring feelings of betrayal, he would go through with it. That's my guess though.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't care about the cage. Didn't think so. Not a retaliation. Yeah. All right. So we see Bam Cha and Hajin Sung here. Then we see some random person with the I guess a random soldier with the. Then we got Lilial. We got a dugong that comes. Or these aren't the same things that we saw from the last examination, right? I wasn't entirely sure. I thought maybe it was a bigger version of it, but you got see Karuru, Ruru, like because they're all like so Dugon right there, Lopopio Karuru comes through to take them everywhere. They lick everyone gets licked up. It's like a comedic moment, but they're like, oh, it's supposed to like disinfect them, and make external contaminants disappear. Then he's asked for the Lord. He's like, there's no way the Lord's coming with us. And then all right, so we're gonna go to the accommodation, and they go into a building that's really big because the mothership is humongous. And Lila starts thinking about her mother, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's not something that I particularly think I saw any princess really do ever. Just kind of have thoughts about their mother, but she's probably in close proximity to her at this point, as maybe thinking about trying to see her or visit her. Did that strike you as significant when you or like did you see that coming?
No, I didn't see it coming. I think I think I don't know why, but I and this is something like I think with like these chapters help me like get out of like this weird like bias mindset. But like when we see most of like people from the great families, I just always assume they're like just just straight children of the family heads. Like I don't know why I don't like ever think like oh these could probably just be great grandchildren. Like And that's not to say like I don't. It's not that I don't know they exist, but it's just like that's just usually never the first thought.
Mm.
So like I don't know if I thought like I don't know why I just initially thought like Lalal was probably like, oh, she's probably just Traum Rain's daughter or something. I don't know, but like I feel like I realize I just kind of do that often. So like
No,
the family stuff
I
usually
got you.
doesn't like come to my head instantly. I think maybe it's because Coon family members are usually like Edwan's kids from like the ones that we've seen, and I've just been using
I
that as like
probably also
baseline.
subconsciously think because they can't maybe be in love and stuff like that, they just don't. They're not allowed to like see their family like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody, you're right in the sense that I don't really think about it in any meaningful fashion like that. But so we had the part where they get inside, they take the elevator up. Everyone else can't. Everyone else got to stay down there. She's like, "Don't stick close to me." He's like, "I'm not." She's like, "Yo, are you confident?" He's like, "I'm a little." He's like, "No, I actually have a lot of confidence in his head, in the back of his head." Now I could read Pantagana's comment. Sorry, I didn't want to let you steal my thunder. Zam Zam is that nigga. I like Zam Zam. Zam Zam
He's
is
raw.
moving me.
He
Zam
he's raw.
Zam,
He's
as
raw.
the manager of the hotel, Mr.
He's raw.
Bigsby, Mosby, whatever, he's moving me. I like him.
He's raw.
At first, I
He's
was
raw.
like, ew. I had the same reaction as them. But as he kept talking and doing things, I'm like, you know what? Zam Zam's cool with me, bro. I like Zam Zam.
No, I thought the same thing. At first, I was literally just like like an or a dragonfly.
Mosquitoes.
I'm just like, 'cause I'm just like, what's up with this? Like I keep asking, are these people actually breeding with animals, or are they just putting their souls into animals after a certain point?
No
Because
idea.
there was the one
Somebody
branch
is
head
sick in the head,
that
in
was a
my
full
opinion.
snake. Yeah, but Zamzam,
Zam
he nice.
Zam. Zam
He nice.
Zam is the one, bro. Zam Zam?
He's nice.
I like
He's
him.
nice.
Yo.
He's nice. I have to give him. I have to give him his due. But this is another thing that's bothering me. Why does he pick and choose when to give out like whether someone's a ranker or not? Like we just went through like 5 separate names. Didn't know if anybody's ranker, regular, high ranker, and then Zamzam pulls up high ranker. Okay.
Yeah. I am gonna say this. Um Now, even though I probably should wait till the next chapter, but I think he's actually an advanced ranker. I think here
Yeah.
they call him a
I
high
yeah
ranker, and that's a mistake.
yeah
From what I've seen, I think that he's actually like or the other term for advanced ranker is upper ranker. So I think he's actually in that category. He's not quite an upper ranker yet, but shout out
yeah.
to Zamzam, bro. He's the one. He's the newest character that was introduced in these batches, and I was like, yeah, I like him. And there's a character from Disgaea. I don't remember his name right now, but he used to always go Zam at the end of his sentence, and it reminded me of it. But yeah, he's. It's interesting to me when you see people of high ranks in this who are obviously climbed the tower, so they have some degree and level of strength and combat ability or some understanding of Shinsu or position, whatever the case is. But they have like a regular job. Like I'm the hotel manager. Now I'll beat your ass. But yeah, I sign people in and out the hotel.
He
Like that's super
he's
funny to
raw.
me. I love that. I love that.
He's raw.
Yeah.
He's just such a normal dude. He's just like, yeah, go to your room, chill, don't bother nobody, please, or I'm gonna have to get in that ass. And I was like, all right, I rock
Exactly.
with Zamzam.
Did Tron Bang Mosquito get a Zamzam? I don't know. I don't know. Do you think SIU has embraced BAM ranker level? Yes, absolutely. And it's about damn time. Though I would argue he somewhat made that decision when he had him beat that one dude, the ranker, when he went to like as a C rank when they're like they
Oh, the test guy.
yeah before they went to to the defensive wall and everything in the nest. This is because this is I think he meets Charlie after that. So I think he's just embraced it, which is a good thing. I think this is the right thing to do. Stop playing around, stop playing tickle butt. Even though his rank is C, he is above ranker level, so it's good. There we go, Pan. Yeah, shout out to Charlie. Honestly, Bama's top 30 entire at this point. All these people are farther than him. Agreed. I remember during the cage of season 3, we had 20 to 25 high ranker levels character. Now we have about 75 plus. Urban Hot seems to care, and Gustang maybe lost someone. I don't think maybe families care about their family. We'll have to see. I do think some of them do though. And I even think Gustang probably does care about some of them. I think I think even the worst of them have favorites. Does that make sense? So
Yeah. I just
yeah,
don't think it's
it's like,
what
did you
I don't know
hear
how to
Lopo Bia? Branch is that? He'd be like, who? I feel like I don't know what that is.
I feel like it would be like a thing of like not like a business relationship or like associate, but like I think like for like the higher ranks of like Pobedow's family, he has like respect for them and he like values their opinions and such.
Mm.
But like I don't know if he like sees him like not that he doesn't see himself as like their father because he is, but it's just like I could see him being like actually tender and like going above and beyond for someone like N, but not really the others, and like if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I agree with that. So Zam has a lot of information and is pretty well plugged in, all things considered, which I like. And this is a hotel that apparently I guess Trauma Ray uses from time to time, and there's a door there that's for him. He talked about the portal in the sorry, it's a Paris something hotel. What was it called again? The Veritas Paris Hotel. Um, first I wonder if it was related to the Hilton Paris Hilton Hotel. I don't know if that was like supposed to be like a slight reference. I don't know, but anywho, so there's a gate hold there, the same way that we used the one to get into the nest when Charmer came on his little like Ouroboros ship thing. So that's how we're gonna get more people to come in or leave and whatnot. And I laughed when he's like, "Don't go in that room because that's like the leader's room," even though he did his position to go in. I'm like, you see, I don't follow rules. So if you just didn't tell me anything about that door, I would have ignored it. Now that I know he's in there or he might be in there, I'll be like, because I'm a little shithead and I don't like to follow rules or the law. So I might mess around, knock on Nicky 9 door, knock on it, run away. I don't know. So.
Mhm.
We'll get there. Infinite. Everybody, 553, the first chapter that came out on well, that's the first chapter, but like focus. Everyone's trying to go ahead. No. Stay here. Stay in the moment.
Question.
Uh-huh.
I this isn't even like a question. I don't know why. I feel like the usage of the word outside here was just kind of weird. Because at first I'm like, wait, outside the tower?
Uh-huh.
I feel like outside's one of those like it shouldn't be like a banned word, but if you're talking about outside and it's not outside the tower, I'm not trying to hear that word.
No,
Use other words.
I had that thought, but I guess I just use context clues. I'm like, he probably just means like
Yeah, yeah.
outside the hotel, like the hotel. So
Hotel or
yeah,
the floor
or the
or
mothership,
whatever.
if you will. Yeah.
But I'm like, just say that. Just say people outside the because if you say just outside, that's it. I'm thinking outside the tower, and if I don't get that, I'm upset.
Mm,
But yeah,
yeah. The worst of the worst. What are you assembling? Some type of Suicide Squad? Um, GL and
that's
Urine
actually kind
care
of
about
funny.
Yuri and Gus thing about Anne. It's rough being a family head. You're level 100 and need to manage your level to like 320 children. Trauma will tell them to stop and then Ren will F off. It's possible. Was there a point in recording Bam beating a ranker when nobody actually believes it? Was it recorded? I don't
Yeah,
remember if it
they
was
recorded
recorded.
it. They
So
recorded it because they had to post it on the internet so the
okay, okay, so
FBG
maybe they
people would
think it
see
was
it.
edited or doctored or something. It's possible, but I do like that he brings it up though. So it's just good because in this sense, things that are happening, events are being referenced, and I like that. So, anyways, that's no longer our Lord's room. Zam's explaining everything, and then she like Bam's comments on her getting nervous when it's about her Lord and everything. The family had. So she goes to her room, he goes to his room, and then we see those nice kicks, the red. Then we see this burger in his stupid little outfit. The start of the hunt. Dawn of that day. The room that Bam is staying in, he opens it with his tongue. He's sleeping so deeply. He knows he designed some fire ass shoes because he kept the paddle on the kicks for a while. He knows what he's doing. The bastard defeated our family. Oh, I'm going to kill you. I'm gonna make you roll inside my mouth and chew you up. Bam opened his eyes. He's like, so you Riker from Zard's army is coming inside my room pretty noisily. I could feel a murderous Shinsu, blah blah. So it was you. He's like, what's with this bastard? Has been around, Mr. Ren. He's like, why does he look so strong? And he could see everything inside of him, or like sense it. To the blue demon, red Theresa, and Leviathan, which is interesting. I don't know if the Soul Force stuff is there. Maybe that's the white stuff kind of around. And then he's like, "Are you here to fight me? Like you want these hands?" And I was like, "Oh, it's like that, Bam." Bam like it was like casually like super ready for this too. Like and he seems very unfazed and not worried. And I like that. He's
He should be like
yeah. It's
we're
about
already
damn
at the
time.
stage of
It's about
power
damn time.
because
You think
yeah,
maybe it's fighting with Hajin Sung and Hajin Sung saying you got stronger or whatever? You think that maybe was the confidence booster? That's like the
I think just
only
beating
the,
White.
okay. Oh, you know what? Fair enough. He did
You
beat
beat
White.
White, like I would be ashamed if you got scared.
Are the
Like
souls
you
still
took
around? Well, I would argue yes. If
Yeah.
anything, if he burned all of them, I don't think he did, but he still got a power up from White regardless. So maybe he
Yeah, he
replenished
had
it
all those
through.
calls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's what. They don't believe. Couldn't spread it. That's what people want to fight Pan. Oh yes, they think he's strong or weak or whatever. Bam was unmoved. I have a question for you. How high do you think Kun, Royal, Elliot is in the Kun family? That's a good question, but I want to go back to something that Hershey asked earlier, because I think this is an interesting question. Damn it, it has to do with Lopa BRN. Can someone tell me if Ren's priorities are with Trauma Ray or is he Jihad first? What do you think based on what you've seen? Or do you think it's like kind of evenly split? Because I think once you are in Jihad's empire, he's he comes before everything, but that doesn't mean you have to become like disloyal to your family or something of the sort. So I think the
Actually,
hierarchy is Jihad, Lopobia, but I think Ren probably feels a lot about like I think he felt slighted that like who is this kid trying to marry himself into our family?
yeah.
FUG. Like, nah. You know, like I think he cares about the family name because I'm sure there's people who are like, "Oh, you're from the Eurasia family or whatever, like Blossom," and they probably don't care. Like there's people who care about their name, people who don't, and some people who are in the middle or might use their name just for influence, recognition, and power. But what do you think?
I actually think he cares more about his family than Jahar Empire, because
Interesting.
it seems like that was a means to the end to help the family.
Hmm.
And I don't like there are sometimes people like like when they join, they lose sight of like the reason why they joined in the first place and kind of like become like one and the same with like the organization they're with. But like the way in which Ren consistently even talks about like his family and he's like, "You disrespected my family. Who you think you are being here? All this." I actually think he probably cares more about his family.
Okay. Honestly, from a personal standpoint, it's that there's truth in that, and maybe it's ego or pride. But I do think in terms of when you join the army, the actual objective, impartial, like unbiased, like what you're supposed to do is you follow the king's orders and then your family head's orders. That makes
Yeah, I
sense.
would agree with that.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Ren is a rebel. He don't listen. He's like me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Because whenever Rin even talks about jihadism, it I don't want to say it's not from reverence, but he always uses it as a tool to explain why he's better because of it rather than vice versa. He's like, "I'm in red. Do you know who I am?" Like he said that when he was with the knack, and then even with the bam thing, he's like, "I'm in red. Do you think you could beat me?" Like,
Right, yeah,
so
RAD
I
is
feel like
probably a special thing. He doesn't say it in this chapter, though, but it is a special
yeah,
thing that he's in. Like I think it's divorced from like I think they're like special in a way. So
yeah.
he Brand, I think he mainly petty revenge. It was only mid for 30 chapters. You don't have to lie here. You can tell the truth here. It's okay. It's not season 3 has not been hitting. Like it has it. Like it's okay. We're moving in the right direction. You don't gotta lie, man. You don't gotta lie over here. I see Tower Mez evolved back in Tower God. Now we're on the up and up. Where I am like emotionally is where I was before like the last like 2 chapters. When we were crescendoing in the right direction, I'm back there. If that makes sense. We're like, okay, we're trending, we're on the tracks, we're not derailing, we're going up. I'm 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 cool right now. I'm not gonna over again. I'm not gonna go hyperbolic and be like it's the greatest. We're back. It's peak. But I'm like we're trending upwards, and that's good enough for me right now. I think it's because I think it's even because he said that he was honoring his. Oh yeah, that's true. That makes sense. Maybe imagine if we entered a tournament just to try Bam again. I could see him doing it, but he a family man at heart. But yeah, man, this was a good chapter though. Like I really like how the only thing that I would say is I do think Ren's obsession with him is a little weird because like he didn't really seem to pay him much mind like that. Though he acknowledged his like genius a little bit, I believe, when he was beacon in Yuga, and he was really here for like a knack and whatnot. But he is just kind of a chaos merchant and a menace and everything. So I'm sure he just really felt like this guy cannot join my family. He's FUG. What kind of issue is this? So yeah.
I think
Can
that's the fault.
Jamarcus? That is the question. Can he stay consistent? That's the thing. This is you could have flashes of good form. Are you gonna stay in good form for like 2-3 years? That's what I need from him for me to be like, we're back. I can't be up and down, left and right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I think this like kind of falls in the problem of like the too big of a world that we don't see things, because I think I could headcanon my way into arguing Ren probably got a lot of shit for failing his mission, and he attributes anything that was there at that time as even greater failure. So even though the primary mission was a knack, learning there was an irregular there, you didn't like adapt on the fly and all that shit. Like if we like knew how red worked and like if there was like punishments and things, like we could probably understand this relationship more, but we don't get things like that, so it is hard to
Oh,
gauge.
awful. We literally just had a conversation about like all the organizations and whatnot. All things
Yeah.
considered, that's a part of the army we don't particularly understand yet. So, but I think they're important. I think they're vital. But is there anything else about this chat? Chat. How would you guys rank this? You know, I used to always do this. I don't remember if I stopped doing this or forgot, but I used to always do this, and I want to bring it back. I used to always ask before I end. I used to ask to rate it before we ended, and I'd always ask, "What's your favorite panel or piece of dialogue in the chapter?" So my favorite piece of dialogue in the chapter will be Bam saying, "You want to fight?" My favorite panel is the kicks. That's what
Yeah.
it's that red shoe. It's that red
It's the
shoe.
kicks. It's the kicks,
That was
man.
clean. This chapter was a 9 out of 10 for me.
Good chapter.
Yeah, look at chapter. Early SD was mid as hell. Yeah, yeah, it really was. Bam is acting. No, no, you're overthinking that. That's wrong. I don't. That's not how I'm seeing that. But okay, with that,
That's crazy.
yeah, that's that. There's no dark change. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not going that far.
That's
But yeah, okay.
crazy.
We're going to move on to the next chapter, which is 554, or yeah, whatever. So I'm just gonna just bear with me as I switch around pictures. I'm gonna be in a black void for a second, but I gotta watch it. Let me not delete everything, the camera and everything. So now, if you guys want to ask questions about Yuri and stuff, go ahead because we're gonna be on that chapter. As, I'm sorry I gotta do it this way, but I want editing to be easy and seamless. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm trying to like go have fun and not have to worry about all this stuff tonight. So, but we're about to move on to the next chapter. I still want to see more what's going on with Yam and whatnot. But I wonder if Yam was gonna be the one who stops that branch leader guy from you know doing the thing. I kind of want to use this panel where Bam. There's a panel where Bam does like a tradition. To me, it looks like a traditional like Dragon Ball Key Blast. It was cold. I'm gonna have to use this one. We have to use this one. This was clean, bro. Can someone PM me 554? Yeah, somebody go to. Can somebody get the cosmic scans and send it their way? I didn't know they're all out. In case you guys didn't know that, they're all already out. All of them were like caught up again, if so to speak. I shouldn't have deleted the Tower of God logo and the other thing. I had a picture of I removed the background for a Yuri pic. Where was that? I could probably leave Lopo BRN there though, because he's still fighting, but it's okay. There we go. Got
Yeah,
Yuri.
leave it go.
Leave
Leave
the
it
go.
go.
He's moving you.
You know I'm a big Ren guy, man.
I,
That's
I I like him, man. He's a chaos merchant,
that's
and
my
he's
guy.
a chaos. I gained love for him during my reread too. I'm like, he's really just a bully. I like bullies. Bullies are raw. Bullying is
I love
bullying.
his design.
Bullying is important. I support bullying. So
Oh, I remember one question I meant to ask now. I guess we don't know enough of the families. I was gonna say, do you think we have? I don't think we have enough info to guess which family he's from, which branch family he's from.
Host
Ren.
Lopobia.
No, like the branch family. Like
Oh, no idea.
yeah.
He's
Out of the
hosting that.
20.
He's hosting that weird ass thingamajig.
I don't think we've probably seen his family yet.
That'd be interesting to see though when we get it.
I can't remember if they said he came from like a really weak branch family, similar to how the Grey Wolf family was like one of the weakest.
I don't recall any statements like that being made about Ren in any capacity.
Okay.
He's kind of an enigma. So okay, is this good enough for me? This is good enough for me. Actually, you said put the goat back. I'll put Ren back. My bad. Then we'll start. I'll make him a little smaller though. I don't want him to cover too much of Yuri's Yuri time. Okay. say hi to YouTube. This will be on YouTube later. We gotta talk about the return of my queen. But what I actually want to start this chapter off with saying is I think that so Miles, we briefly spoke about the idea and concept that who would be like the strongest ranker in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Ren proved that he's a different type of ranker because he was able to keep up with Bam in some capacity here. I think Bam showed out and showed that demonstrably he's better and he's more powerful, he's stronger, right?
Yes.
I believe that he looks like he's effortless, like it's effortless. But Ren wasn't immediately like overwhelmed. Like, what do I do? Oh, how could a C rank? He was dodging, he was bobbing, he was weaving. He took damage from some of his anima, and Zam Zam came and interrupted the conflict. And still, like he tried to attack him and whatnot. He wasn't going to leave. He doesn't care. He was going to fight everybody in there if he had to. And I thought, like, yo, he had a decent showcase from a combat standpoint. So I'm like, you know what? Ren is probably one of the stronger rankers in the tower for like holding that literal ranking position. That was good. I like that. I thought he did a good
Yeah,
job
I
there.
agree. I
He did just enough that I'm like, I can't just lob him in with the general rankers because I've seen Bam beat rankers pretty effortlessly, and that includes that canine person, but
yes.
way back when. So this was good.
When he was way
This is
weaker.
this is what I've
Yeah.
been waiting for. This is what we've been missing. So I'm like, thank God, here we go. Sorry, go ahead.
And I think the choreography was actually pretty clean the way like Bam
The
was mixing
kicks,
after the
yeah,
charge
the
and like
drop kick with the axe and everything was pretty good.
yeah. I
Yeah.
but this is another the hard this is again the hard thing because like the ranker despite seeing so much of rankers now, the established levels of what they can and can't do just haven't been told or shown properly. Because I even question I'm like, is the gap between high ranker and ranker that big even? Honestly? I want to say yes, like it should be, because I feel like in I feel like we see that with White because White effortlessly kills other high rankers and rankers. But then
Mhm.
sometimes when like a ranker doesn't insta die for a high ranker, is that because the differences aren't that vast, or is it just that the ranker that's fighting is just severely underrepresented with his rank?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard to say. Oh, uh, I just think that the we've lost our respect and prestige for the title of ranker. At least you and I have. I can't speak for everybody else, but um, Ren showed out. Ren showed out.
He
Ren
did.
took like
I'm impressed. I'm happy.
yeah. I can't. I don't have any complaints about how that played out, and I like that. It didn't. I actually really like that. Bam was like, "Yo, Zam Zam, don't worry about it. I'm gonna pack him up." He said, there's no need to put this fight off until later. I know what you did to my friends. I know how evil you are. I want you in the ground. I said, oh, Bam is moving me. Here we go.
It's
That's
Yeah,
what we
no, I was
need.
happy. Like this is the stuff that we talk about. Like once like you reach like a certain status, whether or not whether or not like we accept it or not isn't the issue. But it's like if you have established yourself within the confines of your story to be strong, it should be represented as such. It's like the same thing we have problems with like Luffy right now. It's like he beating Yonko. A lot of this shit doesn't matter.
Oh.
Bam has fought multiple rankers, beat high rankers. He should be confident and able to hold his own. This is what I found really weird about this, though. This is like kind of a little tangential, but it's the same thing. The fact that Lopabia Ren and Zamzam didn't know who each other were. I thought
No,
that
that
was a
makes
little
sense to
weird.
me. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
I think RED is
Talk
a
to me.
special force.
Okay.
I don't think that like I think if you get inducted into there or whatever, I don't think it's like a um well, it could be one of two things. I do think that it's probably a special force, and maybe Ren wasn't that big a deal, but 'cause I know that there's a line that says he joined for the prestige or whatever, and to help his family out and stuff. And for all we
Mm-hmm.
know, I I don't know how that really shapes out, but I could see being a very special force where you don't overly announce like Lopo Bia Ren from the Lopo Bia family will now be joining the Royal Enforcement. Like it's more like discreet. Like if you need to know, you know.
This is
So,
gonna be my. I'm gonna give you my pushback. Okay.
mhm.
We don't know this, but I would assume to be you would have to be at least a ranker to join
Yeah.
RED. Would we agree with that? Okay.
Yeah.
So before that, I would assume every ranker is well known, especially at least within their family. Like
No, I don't assume that anymore. I think this story has proven
really?
that
Okay.
people don't pay attention to nothing or know anybody. People see Urek and don't know Urek. What? What?
Okay. That's
I completely disagree with that. They're unserious with
yeah.
recognizing recognizable faces or people that should be recognizable. That's my opinion. You
Okay.
don't have to agree with that.
Okay. Okay. Because my argument would just been if Ren was a ranker and he joined R, he probably would have to have been like somewhat well known, unless like like the suit that he's wearing now, he didn't wear before.
Mm.
Because like maybe like
He's
he actually
impersonating
has
Yuga.
more
That could be the reason why. Actually.
yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe he is the impersonation thing is why, and like that could be. But I feel like at least the same shouldn't hold true for Zamzam, right? Rin should know Zamzam because he's a high, like he's at least an advanced ranker and a manager of seemingly like an important hotel within the family.
Mm. That's a good point. Sorry, chat. I lost where I was at. Let me go to the chat real quick. I feel like Rand's obsession with Bam came out of nowhere. Yes and no. Let me go way up. I miss a lot. Jesus Christ. Okay, peak. Can't stay consistent. If Ren wins, he has to marry Bam. Kobe must be nice. I like Bam's new personality. It's not a new personality, in my opinion. I'll talk about it in a second. Is that my boy? Early season 3 was mid as hell. The red officers official kicks were moving me. Thought he was him, bro. He forgot he was in season 3. Agree. I buy it more though. Something to endorse and a knack when they participate. Petty. Something against them. The dark change is Bam growing a pair. Can someone? Now you think the, the Black March has is real? I think it's a replica on some Xeno type stuff. Does Bam still have the Black March? Actually, I actually didn't think about that. I never thought about it. I thought it was the real Black March. Did she take it back?
That's what I no. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I guess she took it back, which I guess makes
Mm,
sense because we haven't seen Bam use it.
yeah. Naya, yeah. I don't think it's. I don't think. I didn't think. I didn't. My mind didn't go there. So that's my fault. Maybe I should have thought about that. I didn't. My mind didn't go to like, is it real? Is it a replica? Is it a Riku replica? I don't know. Thank you. Blah blah blah. I was confused when she pulled out the Black March. We haven't moved past the light battles and unnecessary Korean sound effects. Doing some was wild this chapter. That is cool. Jahan was wild. What? I keep scrolling up by accident. I mean, Ren is weird how we assess with, but not used to be paired against. Bam is like Urek. If you survive against him, you're impressive. If you lose, no one will blame you. Black Mark is deep inside Bam. Though you're right, he did like fuse with it or something. Maybe that's like he took it inside himself, like in like the last station. Maybe she took it out. I don't know. He came, he raw, no doubt. When Power Cool was the ranker last station. Was the last time we saw Yuri? Yeah, last station. We know it's likely some intelligence agency too. Maybe it's silently that he was kept away low key. That's why Urek has Mazzino on his back, and they still don't know who he is. Like, it's unserious. Miles, you have to consider the fact Lupa B is pretty big. And
I have a pushback for that.
All right, honestly, I'm gonna just pretend that I read everything, and we're gonna keep moving forward.
I'm gonna have a
I'll
pushback
keep
to
up.
that real
I'll keep
quick.
up. I'll keep up with that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I definitely agree, like with like the thing of like the families are big, right? But we also have to remember there are a very limited number of rankers within the tower itself. Now, I'm gonna go with this number, even though it's very possible it's retconned, and in some respects it is because we have blue holes. But there is 1,000 high rankers. They account for 1% of the population, and there's 100,000 rankers in general, including advanced and up.
That's like 10% or something, right?
Yeah. So it's
I can't math.
100,000 advanced, 10,000. It's 100,000 rankers, 10,000 advanced, and then 1,000 normal high rankers. So then the question would be you have multiple organizations, free agents, right, that roam around. So what percentage of the Lopa Bia family could have this amount of rankers, right? Then from that pool, you would have to say which rankers are powerful enough to even be able to join Red, which would only be a more limited pool. And then Zamzam is an advanced ranker, and he controls seemingly some important like uh
Well, he has
establishment for the
access to
family.
trauma ray. He got, it's in some way, shape, or form. So he's important enough to get information straight from the family head. So I don't
Yeah,
think Zamzam's a complete nobody, at the very least.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying. Like, that's not to like say like, yeah, well, they obviously don't know each other. There's that,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying like, I don't like. There's not that many rankers really anyway, especially when you're talking like when you're looking at like specific families. They can only have so many.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll talk about the Bam. I want to talk about the Bam obsession thing coming out of nowhere. I kind of agree in a lot of ways, but I don't think it's related to like his obsession with Bam. I think for some reason he felt that like having this known menace towards like the Jawed Empire or whatnot, being somehow getting married into his family, he's like, oh no, I don't like that. But I actually pointed that out in the very last chapter that we read. How like when like Rachel came back in Europe and he's like, I want him, like, why? Like, you and Bam have like, you were like nice to him. You're like, yo, he's talented and whatnot. So anywho, that's just, it is what it is. Maybe
Uh,
maybe hold on. Let me just Miles. Wait, no, it's like myth and legend. People know the name but won't know the name unless they know them personally. I would say Zamzam is more of a trauma bodyguard than a hotel manager. This door, yeah, I actually kind of agree. That makes sense to me. Zamzam is definitely on par with Branch Heads at least, or at least
that's
uh,
not true.
he's higher up in the family in terms that he gets information that I would argue some other people don't even get. So
Definitely. I mean, didn't whatchamacallit speak to him?
yeah,
I
trauma.
mean, he like right there.
He
Yeah, so
he
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 like
even
right
he
there.
even got him to have the list. Maybe it's just because of the area they're in and what's being held. He was like, "Well, you're the one that makes sense because you know the area." But he even gave him the list that we'll talk about in a second. Vankel asked Bam not to use a Black March in the Cage arc. I feel like she said don't use any of your external powers like the Thorn, but maybe it was the Black March. I don't remember. I really don't remember. Maybe you guys are right, and maybe Yuri, to not look bad, had to make some weird replica of the Black March that she can kind of use. But I like the idea that she kind of learned how to use it a little bit. But maybe I'm wrong. Saw someone say he could give it to Evan, deliver it. Still headcanon, but it makes some sense. It's possible, I guess. Saw someone say, okay, all right. I'm caught up to the comments now. We are on the next one, East. So when Yuri's introducing everything, so you can chime in
Okay,
on
so
that.
that's cool.
So
And
so
my girl,
go
best
ahead.
girl back. Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So the fight choreography was good. He's like sends his tongues at him. Bam's dodging them. He's dodging them mostly effortlessly. I actually think SIU does a good job with this, but I hate it. It's off putting. Where there's like you could actually see the saliva on his tongue. I'm like, ugh, move that. Stop, let him lick me, you fucking weirdo. There's a panel where he's making like a shielding motion. I'll put it on screen, and the tongues are after him, but he has like his Shinsu, his water Shinsu, like in this like Saturn. It looks like like the rings going around Saturn. I like this panel a lot. Then he kind of uses it to like shoot through each individual. Like the tongues are coming after him and kind of like draws blood. I thought that was a good panel. I use that. I think I used this one for the thumbnail. I was I was moved by it. Um. Then yeah, Bam blasts his tongue. Then there's a panel of Bam looking like I'm gonna be very honest. He looks retarded. I don't know what happened with the proportions here, but he, his eyes are too far apart and not the same size and looking the wrong way. Punches, Ren jumps up, Bam sends more beam. He dodges the beam. He tries to drop him with the axe kick. And you know how like Ren does that weird like shake when he's excited. Or like whatever. He's like doing it there. He tries to retaliate with a kick. He gets hit with a palm strike, and then he's like, "Damn it! It's not that I can't see any gaps in his movement, but it's not easy to close in. I can feel that he's hiding something more." And he sees like Leviathan, and I'm like, "Look." And he's like, "I don't want to admit it. As a ranker, I feel the danger in my gut. I don't want to admit it. I feel like I'm in danger against a regular. I can never admit that. Don't you think so?" And he like summons like a creature. Then that's how the beam come in, and that's when Zamzam's like, "Hey, I am the hotel manager. You don't see my clients sleeping. You don't see my customers sleeping. Get out." I said, "Oh, he's not playing around. I like that." And this is when I knew Zamzam was that nigga, bro. I'm telling you, he's the one. Put respect on this bug's name. He's out here. You mosquitoes. I'm gonna start calling niggas mosquitoes. Forget turtles. We all mosquitoes, man. But yeah, that was really good. That was good. Let me see what chat's saying. What do you think of the trauma rate talking how this song? We'll get there. We'll get there. I saw someone. Oh, I swear. Ren's tongue game is crazy. It's a crazy thing to say. Bam out there with the big bang attack. That's what I'm saying. You see that he really charged that key blast like he was Vegeta, fam. It was sick. Um, look at State Farm logo. They're selling Zara insurance. I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to introduce Elaine back into the story. I'm not. I'm not even. I'm not doing it. We're not getting my hopes up again. Don't. What do things say in Endgame? Don't do that. Do what? Don't give me hope. I don't want hope. Don't give me that. Keep that. You like Zamzam better than Cobalt? Well, Cobalt's a pet, you know, so he not in the same category. But nah, Cobalt cooler. But Zamzam's cool, man. I like Zamzam. He said,
He top five local be family members.
yeah.
Actually, wait.
He's like, I don't know who you are, but as a manager and a military hazard can allow the safety of the guest and their sound sleep compromised. To say the nice words, please get out the room. He's like, get out? Not that punk, but me. Yes, he's our client. You're an outsider. He's like, leave. He's like, so in the local beard mothership, not this fuck spy bastard, but I who joined the Zahar army to show devotion and loyalty to my family. You want me to leave? I won't leave like this. The one who needs to leave, damn it, still alive was you, and then he's the blast, which was sick that I have on the screen right now. Then Bam said, Mr. Ren, you don't need to leave. I am fine to continue. He said, I want you in the dirt. Bam said, I want you 6 feet deep, bro. I said, I like this energy.
No,
And
that energy was.
I think you're right though, Miles. I think maybe beating White and getting the power up from White and maybe Leviathan. We don't know what Leviathan could have told him already, what the memories trauma had. I wonder if some of these things are just making him more and more confident. I like this. It's not a new personality. It's not. He didn't switch up out of nowhere. He's starting to just. I guess you know what. I'm gonna use the line from the Matrix. He's starting to believe.
Oh God, thank God.
Yes.
Everybody bleed now.
We don't need any more tickle butt. Get to the damn point. So it's lit. Um. By the way, am I watching The Last of Us? Fuck no. That shit's ass. I know it's ass. I played the game. There's no reason for me to watch it. I played the game back in 2014, I think is when I played it, and I remember it well. So there's no reason for me to watch the show.
Yeah, back when he
Proportions are
played.
wild. There's a panel of Faryun sitting in the arm of the chair, from gay frogs to professional mosquitoes. The fights are being set up have so much potential. Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, East. Sorry.
No, I was saying that's back when he was playing games.
Mm. I played some games this year. Bam may have added another line in his soul after reviewing those trauma raised memory. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So the conversation they had was interesting. So he said he came to the mothership, you got the message, and so basically he realizes that Rand came on his own and didn't follow any orders. By the way, we know this already based on what was said to him. And I think he felt slighted. He's like, I'm effing angry because he's like, bro, Slayer candidate coming out of that station is supposed to be my family. And Zamzam discerns that the information has already been leaked. Went to Hajin Sung, and then we're gonna talk about the conversation that they had. But what I liked about it was that Chamare was immediately able to discern who did it. Like he's not an idiot. Like I'm not saying that I thought he was stupid, but I had no reason to believe that he was like I don't say an intellect, but just like somebody who like can think through things. Like he immediately like, well, only Hajin Sung could have done that, so call him here. And they seem to have history, right? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
wait, like we talked about that yesterday, and I was like, he knows those niggas. He's been around. Like he was the favorite grandson. Like they literally said, like how you're in bros to bring this nigga around. So he knows some of these niggas, or he has met them some in some capacity. Not everybody, but he's met some of these niggas before.
Mm.
And then like that's why I found the conversation very very highly interesting too. And I think the fact that he was able to do it makes him feel competent and not a sense of just power. It's like you over 10,000 years old, 50,000 years old. Your ass should not be stupid. You should be able to discern. It's like five. It's like four people. One just came out. One of them just came out of cryo chamber sleep since the Genesis era. The other one is an unknown nigga, and it's like the nigga Hajin Sung. So it's like, you know what? It's probably him. Come on now. Like I just liked it. It was like very quick and like to the point. And then we had to like stall out for time. Oh, will he? What's gonna happen? It's like, all right, bring him here. Next point. All right, how what I say, and then we out. I fuck with it. He moving. He cooking, bro. Like,
Yep.
thank God we're not pussyfooting around.
Like Trauma Ray has been like to me like now that I know that he's kind of had a plan and he's really testing Bam. And to me, this is my guess, right? Actually, can I make sure that this is here before I say something crazy?
I don't think it is.
Basically, I think he's cooking up a scheme The reason that he even allowed this to happen is because he's already implemented certain things and checks and balances that will not allow Bam to not be in his clutches, essentially. But Hardison goes, I wrote it, I sent it anonymously to other places too. And he's like, and the drama's like, I thought I'd prepare it myself. And he's like, the 1 month preparation isn't that meaningless in the first place. Within that time, the war will start, and I'm sure you will find a way to use Viola in the war. So that's why I sent the message, basically saying that you didn't upend your end of the bargain, and so that's why I did what I had to do. But even if you're mad at me, I don't really care. Just don't hurt Viola. And then he says, um, Hodgin Sung, I've always meant to say this to you. You sure are fearless. I'll kill if I kill you here. It'll be hard to control the Slayer candidate, so I'll spare you. However, deliver the hotline of factions and people you've contacted the Zamzam. Then I won't ask you any more questions concerning this event. He's like, all right, this event. He's like, leave. He's like, oh, I got off easy. That was good. That was a good back and forth. See, that moved me more than whatever the hell he did before. Like, oh well, you can't make and marry somebody without, like, but bro,
Yeah, hundred
if I was
percent.
trauma, I'd have been like, flick, would have flicked him, literally, like, flick, move from me. Don't tell me what to do, bro.
So Miles, you gonna speak before I speak? I want to let you speak.
Yeah.
Uh,
What about that conversation strikes you as vital and important, or like, do you want to talk about the fact that they have history? So basically, Hodgin Song has possibly been constantly always defying the family heads straight up. Is that what the inclination is here?
I mean, I think so. I mean, they probably all look at him as like that, like unruly. I mean, it's still so hard to gauge like what their relationship was during the climb, after they finished the climb, and now what it is now.
Mhm.
Because Hajun Sung's so old, he could have been like that. Like like if they saw each other still as brothers and sisters at that time, it's just like that really unruly like grandnephew type thing. And then like when he got violent enough that he attacked him, he's like, okay, yeah, this guy's just wilding out right now.
Yeah.
So like, I think he does have like, he's definitely probably talked to like quite a few of the family heads. He's probably met them and stuff. So like, I don't know if I would say the history between them though is deep.
Well, look at this,
You
right?
know,
He said that Punk is still the same. The competition is just a formality. Just like old times, he still thinks he can make a difference in the fate that we have decided.
hmm
This kid is just whining against the inevitable, just like he used to, even though he knows nothing will change. I think there's actual legitimate history there. I'm not saying that, like,
Like,
oh, Trauma and
I
him used to, but like.
this will be my pushback, right? I think you could say that without knowing somebody as long as you're aware of what happened. And when I first read that, the thing that came to my mind is when Ha Jin Sung lost his lover and killed like the Branch family, or not a branch. I can't remember what they said. If it was a Branch family, the Ha family, or just
Entire
like a
faction of
huge,
his, yeah.
yeah. We're like that seems to me like that context resembles that where he's like Hajin Sung probably thought he could defy his fate by probably marrying someone that he shouldn't. He went, got angry, killed this thing, and now look at him. His fate's still like you didn't do anything. You haven't succeeded.
Mhm.
You didn't change your fate. You're still the same like kid from back then who thought he could like do whatever he wanted just because he was strong.
so my pushback to that,
That's
and
not to say you guys aren't wrong. I'm just saying like I could see both sides.
well, my counter to that is also in the same time. Like, I don't think he knew everybody on like he knew. It's a fact that, like, unless Studio retcons it or something, it was a fact that he knew someone or he met them around. So like, he was just the grandson, and you know the Ha family. She seems to favor some certain ones. Like, more people I'm pretty sure have met. Like, they don't seem to be doing them like how White and Coonan doing. Like, all right, fight to the death. You can even measure up to me type beat. Like, they seem to have. She seems to have more agency. He's a favorite child of Ha Urine, and he's already met some of them. And I'm pretty sure the repertoire with some of them is more stronger than others. So the way I was looking at it was like, I'm not gonna say like he was spending time with them all the time as a kid, but I'm pretty sure they have met, and it's for. I'm pretty sure like the way it's coming off is you could tell the personality he had throughout his whole life, even as a kid. Like, you're like somebody, like, let's say Yuri. You see Yuri, like Yuri now, he had the same personality as when she was a kid. She was always like hot headed, thick headed, shit like that. So even now, like, you look back at them again, it would be like, oh, you always been like this type of nigga. That's how I took it, because it's like he met them a couple times before. I'm pretty sure they had a conversation, and they'd be like, all right, you've always been, You still the same nigga you was before. The conversation very much floored me. Was very interesting. It's just interesting to see the family has move and interact with other people, and because they all have different, variations of how they think about other people that's not on their level.
Yeah, I think there's like I think what Miles said makes sense, but I think it's deeper.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
it's
he,
a little deeper to
I
me.
think he's had some interaction with them because I find it's I don't know. I find that if he's thinking that in his own head, that is probably there's probably a lot of truth to it, and maybe he tried to mess with something they did. What they did. What did you ask me here? Any predictions for the next matchup for Ren? Bam uninterrupted probably. Or maybe I could see him. Maybe if he finds Endorsi or something, and he could overpower her, try to use her as a hostage to get Bam to fight him. I could see that being a thing. I actually felt like Traumre would have smoked Jinsung if Bam was not around. Well, that's the reason why he didn't do it because he think it'll be hard to contain him. I'm glad Tioji's coming back, so am I. What do you think of Traumre talking about fate? I thought fate was the hardest thing. Well, I didn't take it as like him being like I could see fate and I could change it, blah blah yada yada. They're all of these characters because of I guess their destiny. They have a air of destiny and fate around them. But you have to remember that he said the fate, the will, and the fate that we decided. So he basically talked about the will of like people who are on his level, like a family head, like an erect, like a jihad or whatever. So so I took it more as like a we have already decided that Bam will get married to somebody here. If you're not a princess, everyone in this competition, their fate is death. You can't change that, no matter what. They're going to die in order for me to make this marriage legitimate. That's how I took it personally.
Same here because it's like they are the gods of this thing. But
Exactly.
as far as we know, other than administrators who don't really do nothing, what they say, there's nobody anything can do about it. Like a trauma says, I'm doing this. Nobody can stop him except 10 other people in the tower. Or even like make them flinch other than like 10 other people in the tower. The others, besides the administrators, which they got a relationship with all them. So it's like what we will decide to happen decides to happen. And you can't step outside of that. Especially if you're not in a regular. But like besides that, like what we decide is what we decide. There's no changing that because for how many years? Millions,
If you have
damn
the power
millions
to
of
do
years?
that, yeah.
Yeah, like have nobody ever been able to defy them.
I think Traumre means on killing everyone who's not a princess. And you said, yeah, you said that. Um, then Zamzam said, I have to prepare the sea snake. All right. So at this point, what I was thinking was essentially like, okay, so now using everything in hindsight and retrospect, I'm like, okay, you had a plan. You want to test him, use him in the army use him to marry him to your family and use it against Gustang or whatever the case is. And I'm like, why would he agree to this unless he had some type of checks and balances or some type of he knew something he can do. And I think he's going to summon a character or a phenomenon or a creature that animas or local beings can control that will be too much for most people there to deal with. And that's loyal to him or at least will do his bidding. And that's why he's so confident that Bam will end up his because everyone's gonna die. But Zam Zam does something interesting here. He says, most of them won't be a problem except this one. And it says Yuri Jihad. And then where do we go? Middle of the tower. Random area. This is a warning. And who do I see stands up on that ship? I thought she was in a straitjacket originally. And just kind of be set there in prison. I thought she was like locked up, but what I'm guessing really happened was she got punished, had to lay low, and essentially just do the bidding of the family. Like, go do this, take out this faction. We need this land. Go get this. Talk to this person. So right now she just has to do whatever the family wants, and she's basically playing ball right now. So she's not doing her general Yuriisms and just going on a fleeting emotion, and it was nice. It was just super nice to see her, man. I really liked it.
My best girl back. I was so happy.
Mhm.
Uh, two things.
White real
One.
probation. The fit's fire.
Uh,
The thighs are
do you
fire. The kicks are fire. Sorry, hair is fire. Okay, go.
do you think that he classified Yuri as a problem because she would be the strongest competitor so far out of all the names that are being thrown in the hat, or because if they mess with her,
How you're in?
Higurin would just come and just be like, "All right, I'm about to
I
work y'all."
I think
I said,
I think two things could be true at once. There's probably legitimacy to both being true, but I think it's the high urine thing.
Okay.
I actually want I really want to believe that it would also piss off high urine if she found out that Trauma Ray did that to even Hodgins' song, but I want to believe he's more important than he really is. And at the end of the day, he did do something that really hurt the family. And FUG wasn't even impressed when he got kidnapped. So I guess at this point, he just don't have that clout like that no
so,
more. That cachet. He can't.
so let me say,
His kidnapping or him doing something or his death doesn't. I guess galvanize the troops in that sense. Only Karaka and Bam care. Go ahead.
yeah. So let me say this. I definitely believe two things are both true at once. I'll stand on that for the simple fact that once again, in the tower, we see how the family has operate in different capacities. And like I said again, the familial bonds this thing that High Urine has amongst them, she already said she favors Yuri, and Yuri even met them. How many other people have actually met the family has or even seen their fathers for more than a split second? Yuri got trained specifically and specially, and she even looked like a spitting image of High Urine. And they even think they even mentioned that when she got captured, like, okay, it might be a little issues with like, her and that facade, because that's like I said, that's like a favorite great grandson, like spit an image of her. And I'm saying like, and if she do step out and cause trouble, she's strongest. Yes, Primary could kill her, or some other nigga could kill her, but at the same time, she's already caused the trouble, and you killing her causes High Urine to step up. So, her like the two things are true at once. I truly believe, because I don't think that Ginseng might not be that important, but I promise you, like Yuri being a running for a princess, being a prize for the family, even fucking wasn't that Chiang Hong thing's whole thing, being jealous of fucking Yuri.
A little bit.
Yeah, so like,
But also, Yuri said she could have handled the pressure of having to be a princess of Jihad, anyways.
mm,
You are built for this. Everybody wants to be the star player, but nobody wants star player responsibility when the team's not winning. You know,
yeah, true that.
she was looking clean, right with the J's, Yuri with the Yeezys. So I assume Yuri's punishment is to carry out Jihad's. Maybe it's not her family. Maybe it's Jihad's armies and prove her loyalty. That makes sense. Actually, it makes more sense. Traumare never planned on Bam marrying a princess or another family. It makes more sense that Traumare accepted their proposal. I still think it's like for me, it's unnecessary gamble. It's just like it's not part of my plan. I don't have to the Hodgins song. Shut the hell up. But I agree with you that for whatever reason, he always had something in place that made him confident that Bam would always be his, regardless of what happened. So you know, you're looking fire, absolutely. I think Jin Sung has some relevance because he's going to be sealed and not killed. But maybe that was the trap to catch Bam. I mean, depends on who you think really orchestrated that. Do you think it's like a trauma rage hard thing, or do you think it's Macheni? It's hard to say at this point, but I think Macheni. I don't know. I still think that Hodgson Sung probably was better off getting packed, but we'll see what SLU does with him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can do something interesting with him. I honestly feel like we could actually before I say that anything else in this chapter I wanted to mention. Let me see because this was good though. This was good. Like you guys know what Yuri's like one of my favorite characters like to follow. I think she's super fun. I really like her. So it's just nice to see her back in the story, back in the forefront. Maybe I think she's gonna
I
come.
see her go all out for the one time.
Yeah, it'll be nice. So
And she really hasn't been pushed
Only
like
only
ever
time
yet.
we only time we remotely seen it was when one of the best fights in the series, her versus Karaka, and they didn't even fully like go all out. She had to hold back just a tad bit because the kids were still there.
yeah,
She was just trying to cover for those niggas.
she just wanted them to get on the train without Karaka noticing they were there. So, but that was a really good battle. Do you do you guys foresee her just not listening to what she's supposed to be doing and being like, "Fuck it, I gotta go get Bam. I gotta go find him."
Oh, she's pulling up. She's pulling up.
Okay.
She's pulling
Yeah.
up for sure.
I still
Well,
wonder about.
mhm.
Oh, you go for it.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
All I was gonna do is read the comment that said, "Or you is on probation," so you're good.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It still makes me wonder. Like, there's still other people we have to meet up with, like Leroy like, or whatever they supposed to do. They kind of left again, and like Walcott's son. I'm just curious when those people kind of make a move again because it's like, all right, powers are shifting to B
Mm.
again. Like once this war really like pop off, it's like, all right. who's shifting with who? Are people gonna make like some slight underhanded moves, or they just gonna wait for the power dime to like somebody get taken out? Which because Fug would know that like they had the capabilities of that, but Bam, but they don't know what Trauma is really plotting and stuff like that. Are they just gonna let them niggas go at each other's head? Because this is gonna shake everybody. Because there's like them fighting affects everybody, whether other family has get involved or not. Everybody feels the aftershock of it, or I should say.
Yeah, the aftermath of what's going on. It's
Mhm.
gonna reverberate through the tower no matter what. So
Yeah, because I mean, Gus Poby, that was literally like the scientific running. Like they make the revolutions in the tower, and all the shit reason for the workshop and all that. So like,
I was gonna say this. Well, first of all, let me ask you guys what you rank the chapter. It's from like an 8 out of 10 for me. It was good, 8.5 maybe. It was a good chapter. Well, see, I like Yuri a lot, so this Yuri hype. Yuri's one of those characters. Anytime she's on screen, I just enjoy her. Um, I think the my favorite panel is the Bam key blast. As for the dialogue, I like when Trauma Ray was talking in his head about Hodge's son constantly kind of being in their way type of thing. So that's one of my favorite dialogue. So it's super dope. I all right. I'll talk about the hope that you guys brought up earlier. Even though I'm it's not moving me. I'm not putting any stock into this, but I'll mention it to mention it. Still think there's a really dope opportunity for maybe Elaine to run into the Lopobia man that she was supposed to get married to, and why she failed to be a princess and whatnot. I think that would work. That'd be interesting, but
What's if
I
it's
don't
Zam Zam?
I don't I don't think that um SIU really has anything to do with he cares about her in that sense. I think we have put a lot of importance on her, but I don't think he cares like that. So I'm not getting my hopes up. We good?
hey, like he not fooling me.
Yeah. Let's do one more. Let's do 555.
Oh, okay.
Let's do one more,
Let me
guys.
see. Uh,
This one was really short. I remember it was short. So guys, you're unlocked for one more. You could we're gonna do 555 as well. So let me switch this to I guess actually I kind of want I kind of want to use
We're
the
already here.
I kind of want to use the Yuri panel versus just trying to hold back, not going after Bam. I'm gonna use this one. This panel is hilarious to me. I'm sorry, I gotta use this one.
I do think it's kind of funny. I'll wait.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me just.
Ooh-doo-doo-doo-doo.
It's leftover loving.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah. Nope, that's not this. The wrong thing. It's the where's the girl? Where's Tiara or whatever her name is? There it is. Boom. I'm on
Oh
the move.
snap!
No more Ren. Ren gotta go.
Wait, that might not be the Black March
I think it's a different type of needle.
because I don't see the Gerhard eyes on it.
Isn't that an anime only thing? I actually don't remember. I think the anime did that though. I could be wrong. Genuine
I-
question. I'm not sure. I could be wrong about
Is
that.
is it anime only?
look at me. I have no idea, bro.
I might be a fraud. I might be a fraud if that's the case.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Um.
Yeah, you're right. It
Can
is anime only.
can you? Okay. All right. So all
Never
right.
mind. Never
Give
mind.
me. You guys just talk. Give me 1 second. I gotta pee real bad. I hear y'all not talking. I ain't leave yet. Say some stuff. Talk.
Sorry,
Shake your
sorry.
ass.
I'm
Uh,
looking at something.
Pork,
Jeez,
son, pork, pork, son, pork.
gee, jeez, Louise.
All right. Since we supposed to be talking, I don't know if that's Black March or not, but
It is. It is.
uh,
I just looked it up. I was wrong. I was completely wrong.
I mean,
Uh,
honestly,
T TCH Saint. We're about to do 555. Don't worry. Okay, we're about to get on it nice ping because he has the bladder of a 5-year-old. Uh, I am curious. No, it was a question I was gonna ask. if Bam wasn't in the competition, right?
Mhm.
And this was just a no holds bar competition from the princesses, who would you guys want to win the competition? And
That's a
that's
good.
for everybody.
I mean, that's a good question, but I feel like we don't have enough of like who's actually in the competition.
Yeah, we don't. We really don't. So even if you just want to say like a family name or something, like from a specific family, you can be broad. It don't really matter.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, oh,
All
there
right,
we go.
I got the Howe family.
I'm not
Fuck it.
gonna. It must. I'm gonna leave this picture up for a little bit, then I'll switch to the other one. Okay. Shout out to YouTube. So on YouTube later, and so yo, Yuri starts off this chapter trying to hold in the fact that. Well, I'll say this: is it really a trap? Because didn't Hodgin Sung send it out? Hodgin Sung probably wants her there for a reason, so it's really not a trap. But at least she's thinking in the sense that's like it's probably not a good idea, like if I go there or whatever. Because she's like about the mission, and she gets distracted the same way Dorsey does, right? And then she's basically like, huh? It said roughly says Bam is looking for a contestant for marriage that will be held by the Lopapia family. It's like, what's this? And then she's like trying her hardest, like you ignore. It's like, well, she's like, I'm gonna ignore it. I'm gonna hold it in. She just wrecks the ship. Then she comes. She's like, it's a bait. That is new. That news is a bait. Hang in there, Yuri Jard. I'm on probation and keeping a low profile right now. If I disobey the order and meet Bam again, I'll be done for. And the whole time she's fighting, you could just see how visibly frustrated she is, trying to hold back to just not immediately just fly there at like top speed and be like, "Who the hell is trying to take my man type beat?" So I thoroughly enjoyed that part of the chapter. It was honestly hilarious. And was she fighting goblins? Are these Yororos people? You're the somewhat different from other humans. What are these? What are these people? Who are they?
They're
They just
full on goblins.
they just they
They're
just they
they're
just they just anti-jihad people or something. You think that she's on
it's
orders from Jahar to like stay low, not meet Bam, and do their bidding, or do you think this is a Ha family thing?
I think it's a Jahar princess thing because I
Okay.
think she specifically said they demote like her only position is princess, and they said like they demoted me to like white robes, so it's probably a Jahar thing. Uh, I was gonna say and this is funny because we were just talking about weapons in the tower and like how needles are for piercing, but she's just full on doing slashes with this shit.
She does pierce like thrust a couple times, but yeah, she's still
She
slashing.
does, but she's doing air slashes. I'm like, so yeah, the needle is like because we just had this
The
convo.
energy that this needle is exuding is very to me is consistent with what we've seen with the Black
It
March.
is black.
I
Yeah, it's
ob-
Black March.
I obviously don't have I can't prove that Bam literally is like, okay, let me take it out. Here you go. I can't prove that, but I think I'm gonna go off with the assumption this is the real Black March. Um,
I
because
mean, the
then
way I took
if she had
the,
to fake it, like how was she gonna do that?
I
Go to
think
the
the
workshop, be
way
like, yo, I need this. Make it like the Black March, like you know what I'm saying?
I think
You
I
don't think?
think
I feel like, and also I feel like it's probably low key blasphemous to do that because, like, as a princess, if you carry one, they're supposed to like bow to you or whatnot. So if someone's like running around with a replica, I get this inclination that they'd be like, "Oh nah, who did you think you were?" No, so it said
who
Yuri
said,
Goblin Slayer weak. Go
"Can
ahead.
I get a Black March on the side?" I think it's one of those things of like all Bam did was just ignite the Black March in him, which he's done with the Thorn and like other stuff. So like, I don't see why like if the Thorn doesn't remain like in him consistently, like why he can't just take the Black March out as well.
Mm. I feel bad for these goblins because she just basically literally taking out her frustration on them. She's not even. It's not even mission related. This is like, if I don't get out this anger, I'm a I'm a like I don't know like snap or whatever. What were you talking about before? Because I see like Endorsi Anak, white garment widow. What was that about?
I was saying if like Bam wasn't in the competition and like it was like no holds bar, like who would you actually want to win the competition? So the
How
White
come
Garment Widow thing is
how
actually insane.
how come Spider Mommy is is coming here? How long until
Panda
the
Nag is
tournament?
just being crazy.
How long until the tournament gets interrupted though? I'd say like halfway in, a little past the 50% mark, so like 50-60% in. Anak is fine too. I'm pleasant surprised with Anak wins. How wait. Jin Sung sent the message anonymously. Oh, that's a good point. Bad to the bone. You're right. So she wouldn't know who sent it. She sent it anonymously. So it's still suspicious to her. Good point. That's my bad. Yuri Gobson, wasn't a black march hard to convince for ignition? Yeah, that's why I like the idea that she improved and somehow got it to agree with her or be like, well, as long as I'll ignite for you as long as you eventually bring me back to that cute boy that you know or something of this. So I can see them having some type of a weird agreement. So as much as I, as much as this Yuri picture is hilarious and whatnot, I am gonna change it. I want to change it though. But yeah, it's a good figure though. But I want to put this. I want to put Megan A there. Megan A. The glasses. You're moving me. So um, or N comes from her prison. We'll see. So what did you guys think about this chapter? This was the shortest one that we got. This is the one where Kun's locked up and Gustang comes in to speak to him about going to
Uh,
get. Yeah, what do you think about this one? This to me, this was probably the kind of the weakest of the batch. But
yeah,
I wasn't like
I
I
would
wasn't
say
like I
that.
wasn't like upset at it. I probably
Yes,
would have been more upset if I waited a week to read it though.
I think I think the I don't know, like I don't know if I was saying I would expect more, but I don't know. I kind of wanted like I don't like banter between Kun and Lopabia because like Kun's supposed to be like the smartest person we know on our side. Lopabia is like smart. I don't know, like when like I'm seeing like these two people like interact. I don't know. I think I just expected more rather than like Lopabia just coming out to like cut and just giving him a debriefing on a mission. Now Tiara, she's moving in.
Mhm.
She's she is moving me
Do you mean that you thought Aguero
tremendously.
would have pushed back more intellectually against him?
Yeah.
I kind of hear you, but at this point I don't expect it. If
Well,
and especially since it's a family head, I think he still understands the type of position he's in some degree. So
yeah, like I said, he Coon's whole smart gimmick. I don't know where that went, and I haven't felt that in a minute. But besides that, he's not like Jin Sung, fearless or in that sense or whatever. Like Coon has always been scared of upper ranking people. Like, oh, this is that person. Like, whoa, like like I should tread very carefully. So I don't have expect him to have no smart remarks towards this thing whatsoever.
mm,
Like he know damn well like who these niggas are. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
see him to even like teeter on that.
I think a better way I can explain this is like I think Kun has qualities that Gustang would like maybe respect is too high of a word for it, but like appreciate in
Take
somebody,
an interest in. Oh, okay.
interest in. And that's something that
his
I would have
eyebrow will
liked to
raise
like
ever so
see
slightly
grow.
by 1 millimeter.
Yeah, yeah. Like I like so that's would have been something I would have liked to see because Kun is like he is the actual son. He calls him as like Kun's son. He's the actual son, and he has like I think he has a lot of traits that Gus Thing should like. Uh, so that's
Question
all I would
is,
say.
does Bam get breaking out with from Tierra and the Guerrero task force, or does he like finish whatever he's doing a little bit, or do they come there? But by the time they come to him, he's got another mission he's got to do, so he's got to stay. So they help him with that. Like that's kind of what I see happening.
I think Tier's gonna have to just join the competition.
Oh, okay.
I feel like competition. I don't know because it's like collide agendas. What does actually happen? Because they got wild cards coming on both sides. Like it's not just a competition. Now you got Yuri pulling up. Come on, Yuri pulling up, and then you got a special squad going in to take Bam out the race.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, what is this really collide? And then Gus Thing has like an actual like objective like that we don't even really know about. Like we know trauma is he don't got something planned, but we know what his kind of end goal thing is, so to speak, or his overall scheme. We just don't know like, what plan he has for like what big trump card he has, right? But we know the overall scheme. The Stang been moving like I've been plotting you niggas for like a long time. You might just came with some plans, but I've been thought this through. I did all this for the wrong reason. So I was like, like what does he really have planned? Because they're not his shit is not just gonna go away. You feel me?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they came to do something, and that's how he does that whole rioting thing where everybody just follows Bam. There should be no reason the local B is like, okay, we'll do whatever you want, irregular. Unless that was all part of Gus Stang's plan. But I don't see Gus Stang's stuff going like, all right, we'll do what you want to do type beat. That makes sense.
Now, what was interesting to me about the conversation was that Gus Dang somewhat admits that the book was real and whatever history that you learn or know about the 10 Great Families is fabricated. But he's like, I would like to undo that. So he wants the truth to be known now. I wonder why. What changed? Was this
So
something was this something you always wanted to do at some point? Was this a super duper mega big brain long term plan to get Jihad out the paint type of thing? Like, what are we thinking? Like,
I think since it's been built up for a while, since everything we know a little bit of most about him more than anybody because we've seen him and he got more of his story. We know about NA. We know about the Stingray been planning. He been plotting whatever the bracelet was for. He kind of fucked with Arlene. He kind of he knew he was one of the only people making shit on the hidden floor, like on the floor of death. It's like he was plotting for like a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, like everything is kind of coming up, and I think it's just the time. He's been plotting for a long time, but I think now things are just starting. Like, okay, I got my pieces here. Finally, things are starting to move where I need them to be. Like,
I still think it's kind of the end stuff because, like, I could be misremembering, but I don't think Gustang, when Anne became a princess, Gustang didn't have any problems with it. Eurasia was the one that was mad about that.
I know they argued about it. I believe.
Yeah, because I think Eurasia didn't want her to be, what's his name, and I think Gustang was like, no, it's fine, like it is what it is. But I think like, and this is like why I was saying the stuff about Anne earlier. But in this, they literally say the Gustang family doesn't have Jahar princesses anymore. Like there are none. Which to me would only mean that Gustang probably put like a ban on the family after the end stuff. Which would mean that for me, it's like you would only do that if you actually were like deeply hurt by what happened.
So you don't
I'm,
think that Pobedao Tierra rejected it on her own volition? You think that was on the behest of Gustang?
As we always say,
I
both
think.
things could be true.
Okay,
that's a nice one.
fair enough.
You know, both things could be true. Because if Gustang is like, we're not doing the princess stuff, it's not worth it, she might just think like, oh, I'm just better than this then. Like I don't need it. If my family head doesn't think it's like important, why would I care about it? Who cares? I could just live my own life.
Yeah.
I mean,
So both things could be true.
Yeah.
she was related. She was
What's up
all
with
the
the
lunatic.
enigmatic Me Too? Gustang said to Aguero he doesn't know but has an idea. I'm not sure what to do with that line. And actually, it's a
Me too.
line I'd like to see in like at least 3 translations for me to wrap my head around how to read that. If that makes sense. Certain
No,
lines
I completely
when I
agree.
see it, I need to see it like the official, the hood scans, and then like the people who are scanned properly. So the jury's out on that one but I think it's a significant line though. I hear you. I am interested to see what Macheni Polkadot twins. What? Wait. Okay.
Huh?
Bam. Sorry, I don't know the typo. Sometimes when I'm reading and there's typos, it ruins my reading. Bam is here now. Maybe since him and Jahard are enemies now, he's exposing everything for whatever scheme he has. It's not impossible. He just air it all out at this point. Gustang said by the end of this war with the local BO, you'll find out why I need a ban. What kind of endgame do you think Gustang is planning for this local be a war? I still think this is a prelude to getting Jihad out the paint, personally speaking. I don't think he
Yeah.
wants Jihad to be the king of the tower anymore. I do remember an old blog post, so take it with a grain of salt. We know the blog post stopped being kind of like important after a while, but he did say that Gustang would play an antagonistic role. Now, an antagonist, for people who don't know this, isn't necessarily somebody who's evil or a bad guy. It's just somebody who opposes the protagonist. I think there's a loss in a lot of people. So if it's a sports series and I'm the captain of Sadine and Miles is the captain of whatever Kirkland High School and I'm going to face him, he's antagonist. He could be a good dude, he could be a nice person, but I got to beat him. He's going against me. If they beat us, we're eliminated from the tournament. So if Gustang is supposed to have this adversarial role, there's a possibility that maybe he wants to be the one in charge. He wants him out to paint for some other reason, maybe to open it up for the tower to go. I have a bunch of things kind of ping ponging around in my head, but my safest best guess right now is that I do believe that getting rid of Trauma Ray and maybe Leviathan or something allows him to go after Jihad. And the next question that was asked was Gustang said he was waiting for Arlene's son, didn't he? I think that's why he started moving now. We know that Enryu with the administrator's thorn, cut the slit the throat of the king. What if he's grooming him in order to be able to become the jihad slayer for real? But as long as Traumeré or the local is around, that's not possible. At least
Yeah,
as he sees fit. That's kind of where my mind's going. I don't know if sorry that was so disorganized, but yeah.
I kind of think, I kind of agree with you. Like when I saw this, I'm kind of like, Traumer might die. Like he might like put Traumer like he might fight him in a like have him basically like 1 HP, and he's like, all right, bam, just finish him off.
Yeah.
Because he can't kill him.
Mhm.
So it's just like when you play Pokemon, it's like, I gotta bring him down to the lowest health I can before I take him out. Like that
Or
might
like
be what he
or
does.
like you get the health really low before you throw a ball. Or that does,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
again,
I
go
agree.
ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, I want you to speak.
I mean, I agree because I like you said, take it with a grain of salt. And as a technical force, it was kind of opposing. I feel like that may have been the case before, but now that you have different, he has different kind of like different pieces in it now because it's like, all right,
Mm.
the Sting, he's like, all right, look, he looks at all the pieces like, all right, well, Bam isn't on Jahad's side, not gonna be on Jahad's side. Then you have this thing like moving those pieces and doing shit because Bam probably don't want to cause all this trouble in the tower like that. His goal wasn't really isn't even really like slay the king or anything like that specifically. I mean, he kind of heading towards jihad now, but he's not actively like I gotta kill this nigga myself. He don't even know the truth about a lot of stuff. So I think this thing is kind of there causing trouble for everything. Kind of like he's like moving people like puzzle pieces, little high key. They are puzzle pieces to him.
Yeah.
So he's like kind of like I'm making you do this, I'm making you do that type thing. So
Hmm.
and for a minute he didn't even understand words. So
But then he's moving against Jihad, can be a frenemy, not with the same goals, or he plots Traumare's downfall to fracture the family heads in the war. It's possible. I need the backstory of the family heads next chapter. We're not gonna get that next chapter, but I think we'll get some insight into it eventually, sooner rather than later. I'm not gonna lie, Trauma has a lot of death flags. I didn't see it before, but they did say that a great 10 family head could die in this war. So maybe it's him or Gustang. I think Trauma would be the expected one. Maybe Gustang would be the one that no one expects. But so he said, "Come in, Tiara." He's like, "Yes, father." She's like, "Tiara, Pobedal, Tiara. I know her. I mean, it's weird not to know her from the 10 families." After the N Zahard incident, the Pobedal family who did not produce Zahar princesses, she was the only one who received an offer to be the princess of Zahar, but she rejected it. She goes, "Oh my, is it you? The so-called princess of the Pobedal?" She's like, "Oh, you're the chosen regular that will be on this trip, right? You're a very nice looking man." And her personality can be summarized in one word: lunatic. Then you get this picture of a bunch of massacred like people and beings and creatures and whatnot, and she's just standing there with like a is it called
Pen?
a quill? When you dip it in the
Yeah,
ink and you
quill.
write, is that what's called a quill?
It's the quill. Pen is mightier than the sword,
Yeah,
might.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
He might be.
that was. I want to put this panel on screen for a second. I think I have it on my desktop, but that was crazy. It's like because I'm like
Moon love interest?
I wanna I feel like she's gonna like annoy him in that sense, but it's interesting. It's interesting that if they end up having to be like romantic in that way, shape, or
He
form,
might be the one.
and she's crazy apparently. Because
She's
I
strong,
still think
smart.
she's strong and intelligent, but she's probably unhinged.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. So
It's it's also interesting because she calls Popodal actual father rather than family head, so she's probably a direct descendant.
mhm,
Probably like second generation, just like Kun.
yeah,
She's smart. She got the strength because she's bodying people. This might be the power couple that we needed. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. This might. Uh, my question is like, do you think she's a ranker or
I have no idea. I have no clue what to think. I almost kind of like the idea that she's still a regular for some reason, like A rank or something. I don't know why, but she's like as strong. But I think she's probably a ranker. At lowest, she'd be an A rank.
okay?
Actually, no. You know what? How old was N? And how long
she,
after? We don't know how long after this happened. Like maybe she's a lot older than I'm thinking.
I mean, Anna's first generation. Like that was like their firstborn actually.
Yeah,
That was their
Yeah,
like
hold
first
in
on.
one.
Yeah, so maybe
yeah,
she's
in his
probably at least a
bold.
ranker. Not gonna lie, Tiara's moving me. You know, Megan A. I like Megan A. You know, glasses move me, so she's cute, man. She's good looking. But
See,
if she's crazy,
the
she's crazy. You gotta pump it and dump it, man. Crazy box hits, but you don't want those problems. But the
see,
crazy
and I
box is fire.
relax, okay?
I'm just saying.
The paneling at the end kind of made it seem to me that SIU was kind of putting her in the same tier as like Yuri.
Mm. You actually
Where
hold
like
on.
families are
Sorry.
moving.
You totally ignited something that I would have forgot, and it's funny because I ended the last discussion with this for the most part. She actually gives me Elaine vibes, only from the standpoint that they're princesses that were like anointed to become one and didn't for whatever reason.
Yeah, I had the same thought.
So I was like, that's interesting. I still don't think that means that Elaine's gonna get an elevated level of importance. So she's like, oh, I also rejected the whatever, blah blah blah. I don't think that's gonna happen. But that she's who came to mind before Yuri. But calling her the princess of the Pobedal family is interesting in my opinion. And plus, wasn't Gustang the one who came up with the procedure for the power of blood, and it's not Jihad's blood anyways? Couldn't he have just done it
That-
anyways?
I would say no
Okay.
because I think Jahard can sense. 'Cause isn't there like the weird like still like connection that the princesses can like sense or Jahard can sense them or something? Like
Mhm.
he would know. I could be wrong. Because I think there was even like no, there is because when Machini saw Jahar, there was like this suppressive effect like within her blood itself.
Yeah,
So
that's
I feel
true.
like Jahar would know.
Even Dada Macheni felt it when she saw Jalal Jihad. So there's
Yeah,
something. Yeah, you're right. There's some type of checks and balance in there that, yeah, you're right. I'll take that back. She a blue hole, Bloodsong, the butcher of the Hoff family, Tiara, the lunatic of the Pobedao. I hope she's our anchor. Why does everyone say AA is cute? I can't with his haircut. And he got he you got it. You know, young. What do they call him? A young Riz Lord Kun. The Riz Lord. What I seems she's the type to torture you while reading to you. I don't mind getting tortured by her if it hit right. Nah, I don't want that. I don't want those problems.
Aaron
could
could.
I don't want those problems. Could he do it with himself and give a lesser boost? Wait, could he do it with him? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Some of the gusting thing that you said, like do the procedure and just make it like not as strong.
Oh,
I don't think so.
or
I
do
think it
it?
would just
Or,
be
I don't know. I think she just naturally like she got strong on her own intelligence and natural strength. Probably.
yeah. She direct descendant. She's OD. Like
Yeah.
because if it's her if she fights Hybrid series might be a fight for the ages. That might because Yuri's also a lunatic.
Mm.
It might be the lunatic heavy hitting princesses right now.
It's gonna be time. I do like that it seems like we're inching towards things that we care about, like end name drops, the real truth about the great pilgrimage with the 10 great families, war between two family heads. I know this has nothing to do with it, but he raw, so shout out to Zam Zam. I'll give him just shout out Zam Zam. Zam Zam's getting a short where I just praise him for no reason. But she seems like she might be Rachel levels of crazy, but cute. Is Rachel crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Remember when she was
unhinged.
stabbing Dan?
Yeah. She's unhinged.
Yeah, she's
Um,
unhinged.
but will this
Everybody in the tower's low key a lunatic. To be fair, though.
you think so?
Yeah, like if to climb the tower, you kind of have to be crazy. If we're being like the only ones that aren't crazy are like Ship and like Hots. Like that's like honestly it. Everybody else is actually kind of insane.
So that's kind of ruthless, though. I mean,
Yeah.
he's cut through those niggas in the last station. Like, but you're right. I feel you. It's probably one of those things where everyone's morality is kind of in the gray a little bit. Like, no one's really good,
Yeah.
genuine, from top to bottom, the best person ever existed in the history of the whole world. So yeah. But she's cool, man. I don't have no smoke with her, so
I'm trying to
I'm excited to
see
see
if
what
like
it is
her
that
pen
she
sword
does. But the quill was moving me. Was she bodying people with the
moving me
quill? Was she
tremendously.
writing stuff like casting spells midair, or I don't know, like what a Cardi type
I,
beat
f-
or yum 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 Cardi
I
and
feel like her style is gonna be like kind of like Bam in a weird sense of like I think she's gonna be a wave
wave
controller,
controller.
but also have good hand to hand skills.
Mhm.
Because I don't think anybody that's been presented to be a princess or like that's rejected it like Elaine has not had really good martial arts skills as well. They've all like have good martial arts skill.
Mhm.
So I think she's also that same. Because I don't know, that pill, it might be like a Keyblade thing where like her quill turns into like a giant golden like Excalibur sword.
Mm.
And she gives out chants and gives herself like a paladin boost. I don't know. I'm going headcanon territory, but she's moving.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was the shortest chapter of it, and it was kind of not uninteresting. I had no problem with it. If I probably had to wait an entire week for it, I probably would have hit me differently. But it was good. It was
And
solid. What's up?
we're already here. We might as well do one
I
more.
I I I was going to do that already, but
Okay.
now I gotta screenshot that part out. 'Cause I don't want that in the conversation. You could just give me 2 seconds, bro. I would have
My
just put
fault.
um. s- Oh, so
My
the
fault.
last thing I want to ask you guys is what would you guys rate this one? This one for me is like a 7.5. Um out of 10. Favorite panel is the one where she's holding the quill with all the dead bodies. And my favorite line, I don't know. I don't know for this one. I don't think I have a favorite line for this one. Probably I'll just go with
Probably the
like,
Yuris are hard.
yeah, just
So,
hold it in. Hold it
but
in.
yeah, hold it
So,
in.
yeah, yeah. 6,
Like
7,
that's
7 out of 10. Okay.
she said that can't be real.
I
There's no
mean,
way Bam's getting married.
Mhm.
for me, favorite panel probably favorite lines probably like um Gus thing telling the nigga like, yo, how about what if I told you all that shit was actually real? All that shit you thought was like fake was actually the truth. And
Mhm.
I was coming back off that, like, I like when characters have to question everything they know. And it was like it like kind of like questions their sense of justice and everything, like your reality. And how do you, go from that when your entire world has been shattered type beat. It wasn't like on that super level, but I just kind of like how he was like, you think you know all these things, you educated, but you don't really know, nigga. I know. You're not gonna tell me, like, type beat. Uh, favorite panel, Gus Dang walking in. Shout out to See Me Self Insert
Yep.
Zafir. Shout out to the Empire.
Sure.
Yeah, I give it an 8. Cool, clean 8.
I feel that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. With Miles, you didn't go.
Yeah, dude.
No, okay. All right, guys. Should we just do it? Let's do the last one. Should I just end the
Yeah.
stream and go home? Go jump off the roof, do a backflip in the snow, or should we unleash ourselves so we can just speak freely about everything that happened now? Is it time for 556? The people
I
want
think it's up.
556. Let's do 556. We're unleashed. We're unleashed.
We're unchained, unbound.
Unleashed. 556. 556. He said, "Yeah, let's power through it." Yeah, I kind of want to get it all done today. So
Yeah, well,
tomorrow
you
I'm
get
just
rid of it.
let's go. Okay, let me just shut the picture up again. You see, at least I was ready, just in case, because I wasn't sure how it was going to play out. Do we?
Wait,
What
which
panel?
picture do
What
you
panel should be the background? Should it be Riz Lord Bam with Endorsi looking
One,
up at him? Riz Lord, or let's do it. Riz Lord Bam, bro.
Where's Lord for sure? Because Bam, I'm actually not irritated by Bam. I'm very impressed.
I know.
I was happy.
I
He
want a
was.
Zam in that too, but
I couldn't like clean the background the way that I wanted to get Zamzam the way I wanted. It'll just I don't have the skills to pay the bills. I'm just a mosquito, bro. I'm just a mosquito, man.
I'm gonna start calling niggas mosquitoes now. I'm like, you mosquito, bro.
You a mosquito, my nigga. Like nigga, you a mosquito. Buzz off. Like you fucking
Uh,
mosquito ass nigga. Look at this mosquito. Calling
I
somebody a
will say
mosquito ass nigga. It's crazy.
I will say in general, uh all the designs so far have been pretty good. I don't think we've had a bad design yet.
yeah, you said you really feeling like the dominatrix one, right, Miles? I think you texted me that, bro.
Oh yeah.
Swear Miles on my deal. I'll feel you,
Oh,
bro.
that girl, the from FUG. Yeah, she was. That was.
I know she bad underneath that, bro. I
Bam
really
is the
feel you.
Rizzler of Oz. The Rizzler! The Rizzler! Sorry. I'm adding this random ass journalist because Clark Kent out, Daily Planet out. Journalism is dead, but I used to respect it. Actually, maybe I'll use the mom. Hold on. I think it gotta be the mom.
What's Clark
The
Kent's
mom was kind of
best
moving
friend's
me.
name? Is it Jimmy Olsen?
His best friend. I mean, his best friend is Bruce, but it's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. His I was gonna say non like superpower, but I'm like, oh wait, no, Bruce Wayne doesn't have powers. It's like all right. Non
Like a
uh
Smallville best friend.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, you could go Pete Ross. You could go Pete Ross.
All right, dude.
You
We
could
got
go.
it. All right, no, you got it. You
Okay.
got it. We're done. We're done. We don't got to get into it.
I can't flex
We don't
my
have to get into
knowledge.
it. No, you can't.
They said, the MILF on the roster. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. Let's unleash ourselves. All right. Everybody, you could speak about whatever you want to talk about. No holding back. You can ask any questions now. We're good. We're free. We're
All
free
right.
now that we're here on the latest chapter. Say hi to YouTube. This will be on YouTube later. And man,
I have two
this one
things
was good.
important.
This one was good. No, I gotta start off with something unserious though. Does she
Okay,
have
I do too.
suspendium
Yes,
in her
that's what I was gonna
hair
say.
to like
Yes,
make it float upward? Is that
yes.
what that is?
That is one of the most clever things I've seen
That is
SLU
so raw.
design.
That is so
Yes,
raw. That is so raw. I love that. I'm like, is that suspendium? I said,
yes.
yo, is she keeping her hairstyle like that with that crystal? I like that. That was sick. That moved me tremendously. I had to start off with that. I had to.
Clever,
Yes.
clever.
Very good.
Laura, her name's Laura.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is with her, and because I think there's a mistranslation on the other chapter because Kide called Bodan his grandfather,
Mhm.
but she said Laura's my aunt and I'm cousins to the twin princesses. So I assume in Laura and this was like grandfather or whatever. So I'm like, I think Laura's supposed to be like the actual daughter of Bodan. Not that, like I guess it matters that much,
Mm.
but this entire like kidnapping thing is like weird. I feel like I kind of need this explained to me because Kaide tells them you let Aunt Laura be used as a hostage. Then we get to this point where uh is like bring kidnap her or she's going to die, which I assume that means the house that she's at was going to get just destroyed.
Mhm.
And it's just like, so what is this entire thing happening right here? Like, what is this?
Yeah, we gotta talk about that because that was the condition. The Rizzler on the roof. So I'm gonna get to that in a second. I'm with you. It's a super strange thing. It is weird, but
Because
okay, actually I'm unleashed now. Okay, so what I believe the whole reason that again, so now I can finally talk to you why I think Trauma Ray is like plotting. Sea Snake.
yeah,
Sea Snake is the contingency that he has, no matter what, to somehow win. I think that might be like low key, like even maybe low key stronger than Yuri. So the idea was for Bam to kidnap Lilial's mom, probably to keep Lilial in check, so she should try or doing things stupid to defy him. In addition to basically, Sea Snake, FUG Slayer candidate took what's precious to you, and maybe he'll just come and body everybody, leaving Bam alive, and be like, well, guess Bam's in my family. Like to me. To me, it seems like she's a means to an end, but he told Bam if you don't kidnap her, she will just die. But he did say that the fate for everybody here has already been kind of set, and his death.
okay, so I'm kind of with you. Like, I think Sea Snake is the contingency for all the non princesses and stuff.
Yeah.
But like with this thing, I'm with Scope, where he's like, is this the general, the field marshal being put in question? And that's when I'm going back to the Kaide thing of like, are you really on our side? Is this
That's a,
really just like
actually
a military thing?
that's a good thing to consider. Actually, you're right. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe they were somewhat dissenting from the Lopabia family or doing. Okay, actually, that's a good
Because
point.
I don't, because he
I didn't
said you
consider
have
that
Laura as
variable.
a hostage.
Hmm.
So I'm like, did he put his own daughter up as a hostage, as like a thing to the Poe Badal family to be like, I'm on your side. You can do whatever what you want with my daughter as like my token of loyalty. And Traumore knew this, and he's like, I'm getting her out of there so he can't use that as a piece to like be on the Gustang side, and like as a result of that she won't die now, and as it'll be like as you kind of said, now that I have her close to me I can also just use her to more easily control the law, and
Also,
if
good
need
point.
be
It's
point the
actually
blame
three
onto
birds
Bam.
with one stone, not one,
Yeah,
not two. So it's so like you're right. So the mom
it would be the
gets Sea
general.
Snake here. Now
Yeah,
Lilial will not do anything, unhinged. At least you would assume that. And then with the big breeder, ultimate trainer guy, or whatever that was talking about with his great grandson, yeah, they're related. So maybe if he was thinking about dissenting from the army for whatever reason, now we really can't do it. It's like, hey, we heard that you were going away from the army, doing this, doing that. Hey, look at this. Consider this. Just show a picture
Yeah,
of her being in his cut. Yeah, okay. I still wonder why he couldn't do it himself, but maybe he did that just to test Bam a little
because
bit. But
it might be as you just said. Like one, it could be the test, but it could also be as you were kind of saying earlier. He could just use it to pin on Bam if Bam does anything he doesn't like, and it's like
mhm.
I can just tell people you kidnapped a member of my family.
I do. It,
Yeah,
it does come across to me in some ways. He in this competition, his plan is to have anyone he doesn't like just get bodied.
yeah. That's another thing too.
It's not even like, okay, you guys lost, go back through the gate. It's like you're all dead. Like so. Damn,
So
SIU really writing different because Bam Finn kidnapped Lalal's mother and didn't give a F. He calmly talked to her after kidnapping the mom. Is this a real dark change because it's moving me? Here's what I'll say about that. I do think a lot of us are like thinking like to me this is not a jarring change in his character. He's just starting to understand how you have to sometimes you're gonna have to do things to maneuver in the tower to go up. That's just the way it is, and he stopped being super goody two shoes about it. And I think it's about goddamn time. Secondly, the alternative was she just died. So as far as he was concerned, at least kidnapping her and bringing her here into the room would keep her alive. So in his mind, it's just a lesser of two evils. It's like, do I just let this random woman get bodied, or do I kidnap her and she's around and maybe figure out what I can do after the fact? That's kind of how I took it. You know, it makes more sense why Lala was talking back to Trauma. He didn't just turn into dust. I don't think he was offended by that. I think he was just like, "What?" You think he was just like, "Okay, all right, like relax, calm down." Like she was just excited. I don't think it was like a disrespect thing. I don't think he cared like that, but it's possible. I definitely think the reason why Hodge's song didn't get smoked was because, bam, people were confusing Sea Snake with the Snake Charmer. No, I think something is consider this. Definitely feels like that. Okay, yeah. So that's
see,
all fine and dandy. Go ahead.
this is another thing. This going on to like the later stuff where earlier Trumray said anybody that's not a princess is going to die that come here, which
Mhm.
was one I think in response to like Hajin Sung bringing in people that he shouldn't, but also even to like other family heads that might be doing things. But my question would be like, would this include like non princesses that are helping the princess in the family? Like like there's the two Lopabia people that we get introduced to that we can talk about that are helping her. But since they're not princesses, are their role also to die? Even though they're part of the Lopabia family?
Yes. Unless one of them are significant and important. And by the way, that one person just a nigga. So
That shit was
as
funny.
Koyop
Oh,
no,
Koyop?
what killed me about it is become like, wait a minute, you're a breeding merchant. You know you can't breed with the same sex, right? Like you know what? Maybe there's some freak ass creatures in here that can. I don't know. Maybe Zam Zam different. He got eggs. um,
that shit was funny because it was like, isn't that a man though? And it's
he's like, yo,
like,
love that don't matter for love. I'm like, you're not wrong, but I
nah,
don't
but
think
what I be
is it up to you or is it up to Bam? Like, you
I
know what I'm
think it's
saying?
just funny because it's just like, why'd you have to make him so burly? Like,
yeah, but no, my thing was I couldn't tell like whether it was like there's like is this a man, but it was like a woman, like a trans. They was trying to make like a joke, but
Futanari in the
then it was
tower. I'm
like,
involved. I'm in there. Go ahead.
yeah, then
Huh?
it was
No
like,
fact.
nah, straight up, I'm a nigga. Straight up, I'm a nigga. I was like, hey, yo, that shit had
Mhm.
me geeky. I was hollering. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, yeah. So that was kind of funny. So Laura's we get this is Laura. She's like the patriarch is looking for you. They also sent a dugong for your for your transport. She's like a little also has arrived on the mothership. Secretly obtained information suggests the Slayer candidate is with her. What should we do? The general. So the general. You think that's the dude
the
with the
Field
big tree
Marshal
with the big
Koban.
tree? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Koban.
Hmm.
Koban?
Yeah.
Or
Lobadan's
Loban.
granddaughter.
Loban, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Lobadan grabbed the granddaughter, Lilial's mother. Laura's fire. She's elegant as hell. She's like, how can I not go when my daughter is here? I'll ride on the Dugon and go to the Lord. Then she's sitting there chilling. She a shoe. He like in the shoe panels now, eh? It comes down. Who was this? Wait, He's like, what the hell are you here for? Bodies that guy with a reverse floor control or fast skip. You, who sent you here right now? I don't belong to anyone in particular. Someone in chat, but Back to the Bone pointed out that his eyes are covered in the same way that Violi was doing it. I wonder if that's one of those things where like, it's actually a really actually I'm mad I didn't notice it, but that's a really good artistic choice to show that like maybe like I don't say he's channeling Violi to do bad things, if you will, but it's just representative of that when he was supposed to be like a quote unquote bad guy, so to speak. So that's actually kind of cool
I
detail and
actually did
whatnot.
notice it. I didn't, but I was like, I don't know if this is just me bugging out.
Oh, okay, but yeah, then he's thinking about it like, isn't that kidnapping? He's like, even if you don't take her, she's destined to die for me anyways. Like, why on earth would you make me do this? And he kind of just moves on, right? So, and after Kira's like, my lord, the regular has taken Lilial. We finna get Edward and his creations out of here. What? Oh,
That's him.
oh, I seen a. I'm thinking the corner like I don't know what that is. What is that? All right, thank you. Oh, well, I know that. Um. So yeah, they like leak. Now he's like now leak information to the family heads and Lobadan, and also to the sea snake about Laura's kidnapping. So I think your assessment, Miles, was the right one. Like you saw how that one move kind of shackles three different people in a way. So which is super dope.
Hmm.
Um, Off topic, but I can't believe we waited almost 5 years for Yuri and Zahar convo, only for it to be on screen. Well, I wasn't particularly thinking we are gonna get that off rip. I think that's one of those things where like when it's significant, it'll appear, or like the okay. So someone might, as I'm saying this, if you remember where this line comes from, try to like steer me in the right direction. But didn't Yuri and have a conversation with Endorsi about basically one day you'd have to pick a side, whether you want to be a princess
Yes.
or go with Bam? I think that's true for Yuri as well. I think in some way she was projected that onto her because
Yeah.
I think that's true of both of them. So I can see that conversation being happening when Yuri decides F being in the army, F maybe the Hoff family. Not like I hate them, but like I'm going to follow Bam. And maybe Zahar's words at that point pop. I think when it's irrelevant, it'll come up. I wasn't too pressed about not getting that immediately. Do I think
I
Chalmers? I think Chalmers has a lot of kids. I don't think he just has a couple. I think he has a lot of kids. I was
question.
confused by the chest armor. I was too. I thought there was like it looked like a breastplate armor to me. But go ahead.
I think it is just breastplate armor.
Oh.
Uh, like that's what I took it as. Who do you think would be more? Who do you think would be? I guess would be both of them probably would, but I this might just be me like being like the Endorsey fan, but I think I'm more confident in Endorsey turning down the princess than Yuri.
I am too. Yuri's
Okay.
position. I could see Yuri just using her position and more so being a planter or a spy though, but really not working with them or for them. But my point is that's a conflict that she also has to go through.
Yes, yes, I agree. I
Yeah,
completely agree.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my bigger point. But family heads be effing. They got nothing better to do. I feel it. Wasn't it Graham who said that? Maybe it was Garam. Maybe it was the floor of death, Lord. But my point was just kind of. Oh, maybe, I think maybe Garam did say that to her, not Yuri. So yeah, thank you. My point was just I just want to highlight that scene because I think like that's for Dorsey right now. That's probably become super duper true. So yeah.
I need her to win. I need Endorsey to win. I need.
None of them. I think she'll win the competition, but I don't think that's not Bam's love interest. So it don't
I don't.
matter.
If it's actually a Dory, I'm gonna be mad because I
But do I
don't
get
care
credit
about
for
her.
saying this years ago? I said this like 3 years ago. I want credit. I want my flowers. I want everybody. I want everyone to tweet at me. Nia was right. If I'm right
This might
about
be
that.
one of those things. We might as well just have a harem. He's gonna be a family head anyway. Like he's gonna have multiple wives. It is
See,
what
now
it
you
is. Just
talking.
have the
See,
harem.
I'm gonna Dwan. Cheeks, baby.
He might as well have the harem. He might as well just have the harem.
Yeah. Hey, okay. You look like you were coming from somewhere. Where have you been? Who knows? I like how like standoffish they are. I actually think that SIU has he has half a mind to turn it into like a almost like a little romance thing. Don't do it. She's not moving me, bro. I don't need Dorsey versus Lil for like Bam's love. When she's like, "Oh, he's so strong, and maybe now he's kind of hands." Nah, I don't want that. But I like how standoffish they are. He's like, "Who knows? I heard you can't get out of there without the family head. Was it concerning the Lord?" Bam's like ignoring her. Are you listening? He's like, "Hey, I'm asking you." He's like, "If you're curious, just go ask him yourself, man." He's like, "Leave me alone, bro."
I think that may be my favorite part of the entire thing because it be busting my head how these strong ass MCs and characters just be getting beat up by somebody ain't nowhere near their level. I got no type of power. I'm like, all right, bro, that trope mad annoying. So for this nigga, be as strong as he is, and this bitch don't really matter. He don't care about her. Him not even entertaining her is very refreshing because it's like, all right, nigga, ask yourself, you being annoying. You're not cool. You're not on my level. Stop talking to me. I like it. The new energy, I'm feeling it. Keep it up.
Nah, I was right. Yep. And Darcy is so annoying. The first thing she does is try to punch Bam, assuming something wrong, even though they are not in a relationship. You just reminded me of a tweet that I saw yesterday where someone was like, "I hope you had fun shaking ass on that dude on stage." I guess it was a rapper. And she's like, "Yes, I did. I had a great time." And they weren't even in a relationship. I was like, "Why did he say it? Why did you tweet that?" Anyways, sorry. Um, I'd be okay with the harem group at this point. I think it almost makes more sense, but it is what it is.
Honestly,
I see them giving Bam like, no, Bam's the one who will really fall in love and never cheat, and he's a righteous good boy. They're gonna go that
that's what
route.
Viola and Arlene did, I guess. Cause
I will take double A Kun. It's explicit about a princess, so he disqualified. I wonder if Bam is really going to oppose Jihad, or if he will continue the status quo. He'll oppose him. He'll change the tower. Honestly, Bam is getting a hero would make sense. Bam being polite to everyone except Lil has me dying low key. The man's spiteful, right? I agree with that. And like every time someone's like, "Oh," when the man was like, "Hey, nice to meet you," like when he say groom contestant, he was like, "Hi," like, "Yes, nice to meet you," like very polite. Since he's like met Lil, he's been pretty standoffish, which is funny. He's like, "I don't like you."
yeah, they were eating like lunch or whatever, and she was talking. He's like, "I'm not
Yeah,
telling
he's like
you, I don't
he's not
like
paying her any mind. Like he's like, "Yo, can I eat in peace? Like shut up." Like he literally is me at like lunch in like the lunchroom at a work or something. Like, don't talk to me, bro. Like,
you." He said, "Where
go
you been at?"
away.
I don't know. He
You
said, "I
know?
don't know where I've been at."
Like, oh, so like, oh, working hard or hardly working. Like, don't talk to me, please. I don't care. Um, take
That's
all
why
the
I
Zahara
kidnapped your
shoes and wear
mom.
them out.
What? What?
Oh man, like and Ben's like, "Yo, it's your dad. Go talk to him. Leave me alone." So Zam, the goat, comes on screen. So I ask him to tell you, come to the lobby. Then and he's like, "Sorry to bring her together. Did the meal suit your taste?" You see, like this is when I talk about small attention to detail. He's still a hotel manager, and he's still, even though he has this role with what Trauma wants him to do, he's still doing Lopo be a manager thing. I mean, hotel manager things. He's like, you know, all right, so we're here. Oh, by the way, did you enjoy your meals? Was it to your liking? I'm like, bro, I like this guy. I don't know. Zam is
And
just
they're
the
like,
one.
"It's good," and he's like, "Thank you, Mosquito."
Yes. Right? She's like,
Like,
I haven't had
thank you.
Lopo being food in a long time. Like, yes, Mosquito, thank you. I love that. So, anyways. Yeah. So people are here. He's like, that's fast? He's like, yeah. Um, some of them are for the family, blah blah blah. Branch family has. They're not people who would be interested in this. And then the door opens. It's like, Princess. Princess Lala, we're here to help you. And there's someone that she went to like kindergarten with. And I'm like, kindergarten alumni? Like, what? What was she on? You're a freak.
No,
Oh,
that was funny. That was
she's
actually
scary.
funny.
Nah, she's scary, bro. She a freak. I don't like her.
So they would also have to be regulars, I would assume, if they're the same age
I
as the
literally have
law.
no idea. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you this point. Because if Yuri's possibly coming, the high ranker is going to be there anyways. But
Well,
maybe
no, I'm saying,
everyone that's Trauma Ray wanted to cut the come is a regular.
well, I'm saying at least this girl, because she's the same age. Like, she can't be a
Yeah.
ranker. Yeah,
Yeah. She probably. She couldn't have surpassed Lilal. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a good.
So we went to Grizzly Bear class, bro. What?
And Bam goes. She has friends with that type of personality in his head. I'm like, Bam, why you dissing, bro? He puts no respect on her name. Like. He couldn't
Oh,
believe
wait a
someone with
second.
a cheery, bubbly, upbeat personality would be thing. I think they are
I just
lying. I think Trom raised them as spies. That's interesting, Infinite. That's interesting to think
I just
about.
thought of this.
Go ahead.
Do you think her mentioning grizzly bear class would be like a reference to the
Who are
family they're
family?
from,
Yeah, the grizzly
like
bear
they're from the
family or
grizzly bear
something.
family.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I was gonna go there. Yes, 100%.
Okay. I just thought of that.
Yeah, and like now I don't know what her ears are signify. I don't know if they're real or not, or they're like streamer, e girl, bathtub, and whatever like headphones. And then one of the parts that kill me, the funniest panel is "Greetings, princess." Greetings, princess. Like, bro, don't you come in my face looking like that and say that to me. She's like, oh shit, you frightened me. What the hell is this punk? And he got the little flower, the little heart headband in his hair. I like it. I like all the design. His eyes were glowing too. I'm like, yeah, it was cool. I am Koyop. Register as a bride candidate. Isn't he a man? He's like, Lopo be a Koyop. I'm a man. Why is a what? Why is a man here? Gender doesn't matter in love. Greetings. But he's got a like big titty test breastplate on. He got boobs. He got moobs.
Yeah, that shit threw
I
me
He
for a
got
loop. I
mitts.
swear to God, I was cracking
He
up.
got mitts. He got mitts
well,
over
since he
there.
call, yeah, he calls himself a man, so I just think he's just female presenting. So he's just wearing armor that
Okay,
you know.
that was my guess. That was my
Yeah,
guess.
because like when some people like don't be wearing like aren't like fit, but like it's like that like comedy thing. Like why yo armor have abs? Why does your armor have abs?
At first,
It's
I
like
thought they
that.
were trying to I thought they was making a joke about him being so muscular as a woman. Because you know how like if Baker had her buff form and niggas like, oh, she a nigga now. So I was like, oh, it's like a joke. Like, why is this woman so swole? He was like, nah, I'm a man. I was like, oh, okay, that shit
I
funny
thought it
as
was
fuck.
I thought it was a swole buff girl too. But I like
Ko-
this more. This is funnier. I like this. This is funny.
Koya about to go crazy. I
I'm
know
like
he about to
I,
roast these
I was
people.
about to say, this is my dark horse.
This is my dark
That's
horse.
my dark horse, bro. Yo, you gonna go far in this competition. I believe. I
I'm,
believe.
I'm I don't like the law, but Koya I
Mhm.
actually like. I get.
Yeah. I actually like the other girl less. She was too upbeat. I don't like upbeat people like that. I'm telling you,
All
the
right,
rest of the
Skeg.
family heads are sending cannon fodder to get turned into packed up. Oh, that's I wonder why though. I guess, but anyway, so these are bride candidates selected by the family heads of the local BIA. So like the branch leaders. That's what I'm guessing. So if you move on to the gate, they go to the gate, and then we start seeing some other people come out too. Like who else was the competition? So then we see I'm gonna throw him on screen real quick, but it looks like an up and coming journalist trying to get some clout and notoriety. Is this dude? I'll put him here for
Sure,
now.
I'm pretty
I
sure
like. I thought
that's
he
a
was a
girl.
I thought he, I thought he was, I thought he was the. I won't lie to you. I saw blue like Raz. No, but I said Raz because I'm like, oh well, if men are coming, like maybe it could be Rand, but no, it wasn't Rand. And then he's like a journalist, so he's like, I came to cover it.
That's a girl. That's a girl, nah.
Oh, girls, my fault. He's like,
Couldn't tell, honestly. I wasn't sure.
il knock low pal. I can't tell, but yeah, I like the design. I
Not
like the hair.
low.
The hair looks like kind of like wings to me. I can't really explain it. I like the
Yes,
hair.
it
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
It's just this specific panel, but it gives me like not like old school cartoon vibes, but do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like it almost seems like not Tower of Godish, but like it does at the same time. It's like really hard to explain.
Yeah, it's a cool design. Is that the Sayer candidate and Princess Liz Al Jahar? I'm Ilk Knock from Tower News. I said Tower News. Okay, we got Tower News here. Yes, sir. Um, can I ask you for an interview later? And after the thing was like, all right, like K-op said, all right. I was like, who's talking to you? So yeah, that was funny as hell. I'm not the princess. I really like this part. I thought it was kind of funny. So Naya, did you just assume incorrectly her gender? I guess don't cancel me or whatever. I can't believe FUG sent out someone to marry them. That was kind of funny, but I wonder if FUG was just worried. Like Hodgins song sent these out, so I wonder if you ever like this is like probably not the case. But you wonder if like Hodgins song had some weird secret thing, so like anyone from FUG would know it was him that sent it or not.
Got to.
I would say like yeah, but at the same time, like we know, information is a weird thing in this town. These people don't really know what that is.
That's a
I
fact.
don't know.
That's a fact.
I don't know.
Mm.
Like FUG probably got a call. It's like, who has our private number?
They want to
Oh well.
they want to become a war correspondent, by the way. So yeah. So he's like, and none of the people who have come so far interested in marrying the candidate. Wait, can you move? Oh yeah, this panel's just like a girl. I could see some booba. Hello Slayer candidate. I thought he was wearing a mask, but I guess the cap part of the hat, what do they call that? The brim like comes really low.
Yeah.
Drabby from FVG. Better to meet you is an honor to meet you. Remember FVG is an honor for me too. Every time Bam just puts his head down to say it's an honor, I'm just like he's being so polite. It's so funny because I know he does not want to. He's not here for it. He's not trying to like whatever. I got the Jotaro thing a bit from the hat to some degree, but it's not kind of Warren and Jotaro style. But I get that. I know why you'd associate the hat with Jotaro, so I feel it. I wonder if she'll produce big news like Morgan. So she's a capper. She'd be lying. They say she's a gossip. I don't know. So it's not impossible. Imagine Sophia pulls up to Mary Bam, the elder. Oh nah, the girl from FUD's called. Wait, who is this? Who was the snake guy? By the way, we're gonna get there. I don't know who he is yet.
Relax, Hershey. We're gonna get to it.
You think it's Endorsey snake guy? I don't know yet. We'll
That's what
get
they
there.
meant earlier when they were talking about Snake Charmer.
Oh,
I don't think it's the same guy.
neither do I. So there was a mercenary that's just fighting at the behest of the Lopabia family. Something Ipo. She's like, I came here because I heard that the Lopabia family's up to something funny. Then a daughter a daughter of the beastskin that was invaded by Sofripa, a daughter of the family whose guardian animal was taken away by the Lopi files, so Hemis Lime, some clown looking chick, Roko, daughter who lost her family leader to the Lopia being family. So they're just sending people who like don't like the Lopia family. These members
They're
feels like the
gonna get
daughters of
fired.
families who are unhappy with Lopia. So like what's cooking in this melting pot? What's about to happen
They're all
here?
got to die though. I feel
True,
bad
but
because they're just
like
gonna die. Like
yeah,
Snake is about to go crazy on them.
yeah.
Oh, they're about to get destroyed. You can also just tell by their designs. I'm like, y'all not important.
You wonder if this is loose leg hiding their identity. Infinite, I gotta be honest with you. I
That would be crazy.
truly, and I have like negative 10%. I believe that. Like, I really don't believe that. I would be shocked. I would be baffled. I would not believe my eyes if that was the truth of the case. I don't think so. I believe Loose Leg will reveal himself when Bam is actually next about ready to be able to step to like the heaviest hitters in the tower. I have a video talking about this, so I'm not gonna say too much, but um having this conversation recently about FUG and whatnot, I'm at the point where I believe Loose Like is playing the entire organization. The only point of FUG is for Bam to be nurtured a certain way, become the Slayer who can slit the throat of the king and kill Jihad. Everything else is a farce, is a ruse. Karaka being able to kill whatever, the Slayers having a family head to beat. I think all of that is fugazi. It's all for Bam, and I'll leave it at that.
Bro, if Drabby was fucking loose, like that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Roko was Harley Quinn at home. I feel that. Okay, so here's the voice. He makes it so I knew it was on Dorsey because I'll kill you. She looking fire. I like the skirt. I see the abs coming through. I like the shirt. She goes, and he goes, and Dorsey, why are you here? Why am I here? Why? I said, that's because I want to ask you. So they both dodge her initial attack. She goes to punch him. He blocks it. Oh wow, you're blocking it. And Dorsey, calm down for now. It's been a while. And I said, it's over for her. As soon as he did that, and I see this panel, I said, it's over. Creaming,
The Rizzler
moist,
attack.
wet, liquid, liquid. Like it's like, oh yeah, she's done. She's cooked. Have you been well? She's like, well, I haven't been well, but you know, so that was good. I like that. That was a reunion that I approve of.
See, I would actually like one fight that I'm actually looking forward to would be an Endorsing and Knack duo versus Law and Shalal. I think that would be a firefight,
I'm in.
like a 2v2 with that.
I'm into that. I'm into that. I'm into that.
I found his.
I'm
That
into
would
that.
be crispy.
That's moving me. Oh my, we were trying looking kind of sweet. I never thought she was ugly. You guys remember the day? You should remember the chapter me and Simi were wilding when her and Huawei were in the bath. Were in the bath on the on the train, and we're like, "Yo, that bath water is drinkable as fuck."
You're sick.
I still think saying you would drink someone's bath water is crazy, bro. Like, no way. Like, that's nasty, fam. Yeah, since season 3, I've thought the Slayers are just meant to be Bam's higher rankers. How the OG squad is sweet and sour. He'll have the Slayer team. That makes sense to me. That makes sense. So
See,
not the drinkable bathwater. Yeah, that I'm saying the bathwater look drinkable. But I'm saying I'll never do that. I think the first time I heard about that was that one influencer. She was selling her bathwater. I'm like, for all you know, she just poured some water in, in a jug and sold it. But I'm not. I'm normalish. I
you're not. Question.
guess you say votre
I don't.
question, mon ami.
But I'm trying to think. Have we talked about what family Anak's mother was probably from? Because I think it's Lopabia. I can't remember if we've had this convo
I
before.
don't think we've had this conversation, but considering she's a lizard, it just
Yeah, she's a
makes
lizard
the
person.
most sense. Unless there's some other family we don't know that has a very specific, unique view like look like that. But I would be hard pressed not to believe that they're actually Lopobia. I
So, do you think we could get some stuff with that here when she like pulls up? Like people like might say something.
if you're
I
gonna
know
get a
Red might re-attack her. Honestly, I didn't even think about that.
well, I think a knack will appear because well, did Endorsi come by herself and answer the call, or did a knack come with her? Is the
They were
question.
in the ship together, so I think Anak is probably
But what if
here.
a knack just dropped her off? You know, said I ain't going.
I think Anak would want to fight the other princesses.
I feel that. It's a good question. I don't know though. He said, "Why is Shuri fighting Seikai goblins?" I'm crying. I just saw someone selling farts. Ain't no. Actually, no. I believe it actually because I saw people sell. I saw some girl selling her urination for the nation. Goblin Slayer out. Yeah, yeah. She was messing up them goblins. Um, I will see. Basically, if I in my head at this point, SIU does not want to do anything with Anak until he's truly ready to tackle what happened with Anak's mother specifically with Evan and getting put to the floor of death. In conjunction with maybe speaking about maybe the procedure in more in depth and like the power and like and what there's one more component I'm not remembering right now for some reason, but I don't foresee it happening in this arc, but I would like that because I still think there's an opportunity for Elaine to have a really dope character moment here. It's her family, but I'm at the point where I do believe that the characters who have been introduced who are stronger moving forward are the ones that are going to matter more, and the regulars will kind of generally do busy work, kind of like what we saw with Tamatoa the Crab and the stock market game during the Nest. I think they'll always be relegated and stuff like that at this point. Rack and Aguero are exempt. Also, Aguero is intelligent, and Shibisu is exempt because Shibisu is intelligent. So I always believe that Shibisu will be able to contribute with his brain.
Yep, the goat. Yeah, you're right. Best character.
Question: Do you think uh do you think Elaine still stands at like above a lot of these other regular princesses still in terms of power?
Like who, like Endorsi or something?
And Dorsey and
I don't
Actual
think
Lalal.
I don't I think she's stronger than maybe a Knack. Um I don't know about Lalal and Shalal and Dorsey at this point. I would have told you yes before, but for the sake of the story, they'd probably have to be comparable. And yes, Star Destroys. That's the first thing I pointed out. There's suspendium in her hair, keeping her hairstyle like up and curly. I think that's super dope. In a perfect world, all the extra regulars would have been killed off by now, or at least just like on their own journey, and we don't care anymore. Like, well, all right, see you at the top, and then maybe the top, see them. I don't know, but yeah. Sorry, what I got derailed. What were we talking about?
Just Elaine.
Yeah. Elena,
Dang, so
somebody
you
in
think
my
it?
head is very powerful and should be very powerful and like but you could like I remember a line being said that it's like she's not fighting at full power. She's just kind of the weapon needle inventory was just something she used to like because she was like the emperor of the name hunt station. So
Uh-huh.
like being free like this would allow her to fight But like, I just think for the sake of the story, he's not gonna make her as strong as like the Lopobia Princess twins and Dorsey. I think it would make sense, despite knowing her age, the fact that she had the aptitude to become one. I think it makes sense for her to be on their level, but I don't think he's gonna do it personally.
I think she
I
should
wouldn't
be
even be shocked if
stronger.
the Knack is stronger. Go ahead though.
I think she should be stronger than them all by quite a bit,
So do
honestly.
I. So do I. Well, like again, so do I in like my rational brain.
Yeah, like, cause wait, she was a D rank regular, right? Was she the leader of the E or
She
D
was one of the
ranks?
strongest D rank regulars along with friggin' Sachi Faker and whoever the other bozo was.
Yeah. So when Bam fought her, I like honestly had her at like high C rank, maybe even like low B rank level.
Mm.
Honestly, at that point,
She got a lot of good techniques too. She was gifted the Grey Wolf Fenrir, and she can switch places with it.
she has
Its teeth
that
are
can
strong
bite
enough to pierce through a
ranker,
ranker's skin, and it doesn't stop bleeding unless she commands it not to stop bleeding. I believe so. It's kind of
and she has
crazy.
an armor inventory which is rare for even rankers. Like
Yeah.
her, like all her like she like her goods are like insane, and she has great skills to match and like a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Like she's really hard to beat. And honestly, I don't know. A knack is so hard. It's been so long. I just don't know like where she could be right now. 'Cause I know at least we saw in Dorsey and Hats fight the princesses, so like that's a little bit easier to gauge on that side. But Knack is such a weird one now because it's been so long. But I
Mhm.
want to always say she'll always be comparable to like Ran or something in
Yep.
Dorsey.
I would like that. I hope that's still the case. All right, let's get to it. Inside the Lopobia mothership's family storage, inside the dark fish bowl. Snake, you poor creature who opened eyes to forbidden emotions by cutting your own tail, recreating 2 strands of hair for eternity. The Slayer candidate and his party stole your precious thing. Go. They are on the top floor of the family head's hotel. Kill them. Kill them and take back your precious belonging. Then the family head himself promised to give you what you wanted. Mm. This is why I think he's so confident. Whoever this person is, individual is, with all these snakes or whatnot, I think they got the goods to deliver. I think they're scary. I think they're going to be hard to deal with, comparable in strength and whatnot. To if not actually, actually in my head, I think this guy's probably a blue hole. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, I think it's part of the reason why Traumare was so calm right now. I think he wants, and again, he's still actually supposed to be testing Bam. So I think he does want Bam to be pushed by strong
Yes.
characters and whatnot, not just some like menial regular. So yeah, man.
I
Sea
mean,
Snake is. Oh, go on.
oh, I was gonna say, I mean, that's niggas that been gassed up. If Charmer himself sends you over there, pretty sure it means you're between Traumary sending him over there, and then then whoever's talking to that nigga being like, listen, hey, the low what you always wanted, and it's pertaining directly to Traumary, and Traumary knows who you are and calling you out specifically for this thing, and he's like, listen, no matter what y'all do, it don't really matter. Everybody really fucking dying. It's already fate has already been decided. Type beat. So not counting against Bam, I think that nigga's washing everybody, beating everybody that we come up against.
Yeah. I want
Is
to
this,
go against him.
isn't a blue hole one of the old niggas that's like ranker level, but they didn't really
Forgotten by
call?
time. Forgotten by time. So
Yeah,
we have no idea.
yeah,
They could be any level of strength. Stronger
yeah.
than high
So
rankers, weaker, about comparable.
yeah, this Nick, the way Charmer moving, this is definitely like him being like, I don't have to lift my finger because I already know like what I set out is going to happen. Basically, type beat.
So yeah, we'll see what this guy's about. But this was he had a lot of contingencies and little things here. Like I said, checks and balances to make sure that things go the way he wants. Like I'm gonna give him credit where credit's due. Charmere does seem to have an overall general plan. So
He's been doing a
he's
lot better since we came back. Honestly,
yes,
as a
yes.
character.
I would say his stock has risen since his return. Unfortunately, still with the worm and the ash and the cigarette, Gustang just catapulted himself definitively above him. Not that I thought Traumare was ever cooler than him, personally speaking, but everyone's to Easter. I'm not mad at people who like.
I like Charmer's like I like colorful characters like in like vibrant colors, and he like screams all that. And I liked him. He grew on me more and more. But Gus Thing always been top tier. But the way he was just like, bro, Gus Thing actually yelled for a second. I was like,
Hmm.
oh, this is moving me. This nigga like was always calm reading books, and you never see him out of character. But he was like putting when he was put on that show full time. I was like, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good thing. Man.
Honestly, Gus Thing literally smoking his enemy was raw, put him in a pack. Yep. It was incredible. But this chapter to me was like a 9. It was really good. I liked it a lot.
Very good chapter.
I thought that a lot of the stuff that not just I hate though I hate setup chapters. I thought he kind of executed some stuff here. We got a bigger picture with the because of the mom, some of the other candidates. It was funny. Reintroduced to Dorsey and Bam reunited. All those kind of things. I like what I'm seeing, man. We are moving in the right direction. He's been in the kitchen. He's been whipping up a good meal. I like what I'm smelling.
I
I
have
haven't
one
tasted it
last
yet, but
question.
I like what I'm smelling. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Sea Snake was in a fishbowl, which I'm pretty sure is usually used for Shinwanri. Wow, not Shinwanri. Sorry,
Animal.
Shihei.
Oh,
Shuhei.
oh yeah. For sure is, yeah.
So, is this guy an actual Shuhei, or is he like a human fused with the Shuhei, or is he just a dangerous like member of the family
It
that's
was
like
it, it was said
monsterized?
it was said that earlier that we need a better translation for that last part, and I agree with it. I don't know what to do with that part yet. We need another translation for the
Yeah,
snake guy because it's very confusing. Were there any hood scans that have like a translation? I might look at those. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's one of those things where I'll understand when I read it when I kind of rap. I don't know what they were trying to say there, honestly, because in my head it's like, yeah, he's the guy, but maybe whatever they talked about his snake hair, cutting it in two and it multiplies endlessly.
yeah, that was
Maybe
said really
that's
weird.
the actual anima or whatever. So
Yeah,
you know what
phrase
I'm saying?
extremely weird. I'm like, is this like some Hydra stuff? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting to see. Bam left Uber channel weak at the knees. Yep, the setup was good, and I hope we get more princesses. Yes, I hope. All we need right now. Thank you for the follow, J Money. We need execution. Execution. We've done the bit of
That's the key part.
the groundwork and the foundation of pillar has been set. I trust it. It's sturdy enough. Now, what structure are we going to build upon that? That's the real test for SIU. And as I think E says earlier, or maybe it was you, Miles, consistency. That's what matters right now. Consistency and executing on the concepts. That will
I think that
that
was East.
that's what will get me to be like clap clap bravo. You know. Um. Someone give Aqua. I can post it here. Give me a sec. I think if I post it, it won't go away. But what would you guys rate this chapter if you had to read it? It's a 9 personally.
Really, that's interesting. I think I go with you. I agree with you. I don't know.
Favorite panel?
That white snake panel was absolutely stupid. Like for real.
I actually
Um,
I actually like the one where an Dorsey just pops up.
Mhm.
When she's like cracking her knuckles, like grits her
Yeah.
teeth. I'm like, I like that. I like her. No, let me not. He's just he's,
I don't know.
yeah. You said 5 out of 7, 8.5 out 8.5, 8.7, 9 out of 10 easily. Nice. As for my favorite piece of dialogue in that chapter, I don't know. Nah, it's been a while because it got her to her knees. Or actually no, it was the actually no, I lied. It was the dude when they were saying I want to interview y'all, and he's like, all right. I'm like, no one's here for you. No one knows who you are. So yeah. Favorite panel is no question. Bam rizzing up on Dorsey, the Riz Lord. 25th Riz. I'm low key becoming a CBL again. Give me a year of this, and I'll be back. I'll be back for real, for real. Let me spam some Bam emotes. Just for the one time. That's definitely meal love. You see how my mind goes to meal love. I'm so one dimensional. But yeah. Any final words?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
All right.
Keep it up, SIU. Keep it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, keep it up. You're on the right track, man. You're doing well. I like what I'm seeing. Let's just keep executing on these concepts. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the kidnap and reverse flow control. That was a good one. That was a good one. I feel that. So yeah, let's keep it up. So I got to get all this stuff edited and everything. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. But I appreciate you guys coming through. I'm gonna raid Simi. You playing video games? You guys go have fun with my. You guys go show my man some love, man. Go show him some love. It don't take nothing to show a nigga love, nigga. Babble-dee dabble-dee.